either. Benta, did you want to say something? Benta.
Oh,
Okay, he looked
sorry.
like a
Oh,
African in
Yes, I
Florida.
did.
oh,
What
go
time is
ahead.
it? Where you guys are right now? Is evening?
We're in different places.
Okay. I'm in Denmark right now, and it's almost 5 a.m.
Are
So
you
I just
okay? Are
wanted to
you in a
say that.
safe place? You whispering.
Sorry.
Are you in a safe place? You
We
whispering.
can't hear you,
Well,
sister. Speak up.
okay, I'll do my best. It's because I live in a dorm and it's 5 a.m. So I'm trying to be as
Oh,
quiet
okay,
as possible.
understandable.
Yeah. But I'll do my best. I just wanted to comment quickly on something that was said about Europeans and fascism and whatnot. I was born and raised in Denmark, but I'm from Gambia, and I've lived here my whole life, institutionalized here in Denmark. But a year ago, I went on exchange to Canada, and that's when I realized how messed up the North American school system is. Um, and you know, imperialism is imperialism. Institutions are institutions, but they're different flavors.
Messed up in which way?
Well, for one, um, the way that you have to pay so much money to attend college and attend classes, and the pressure that are put on a lot of college students, and the way that if you don't have that much money, you might just have to drop out to take care of your mental health, as they said. And my mental health suffered a lot. And it was a wake up call for me in a lot of ways. So that's all I wanted to. I just wanted to add my 2 cents.
When do we say something about fascism? Why is the phone echoing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't fascism in particular, but Professor Allen mentioned something about Europeans
Mm-hmm. Are you
earlier.
European?
Yes, I am.
How?
I was born in Europe, but
Are
I'm
you
ethnically.
Danish? Are you Danish?
Yes, I'm a Danish citizen, but
Oh,
ethnically,
okay.
I'm from Gambia.
What do we-
And our education system is fucked up.
uh,
No, no, no.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to generalize. I didn't mean to
No,
generalize. That
we're
that
You're an
wasn't my
advocate
intention.
in Denmark talking about your European. Stop it.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
whispering because
so
I don't want to
sorry.
wake up your white friends that you're in the
I'm
room
really,
with.
really sorry to offend anybody. That wasn't my intention. I'm just gonna log off.
no, we're not offended. We just don't understand how an African can call themselves Danish and European. Do you not get things?
Do they accept you as a European?
No, they don't.
Then you're not a
But
Then why do
European, my
you
sister.
call yourself a European?
because I now technically am.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're
Can I
not.
please can I
Technic
please
by
finish?
law you are, but culturally you are not accepted by them.
That
That
is
is
not completely
ridiculous.
true. That is not completely true. I do want to add that I am institutionalized in Denmark and I have been my whole
What does
life.
that mean?
That
You in
Explain that.
means,
jail?
sorry?
You in jail? That's what institutional.
Thank God, no, I'm not.
That is too many
You in the crazy
echoes.
house?
No, no, no. None of that. I've had many very, sorry, I'm getting emotional. I've just had a
Okay,
lot of
you
bad
was in a mental
experiences with
institution.
police here and the system in different ways. And I also grew up in the hood. So I've seen
Oh, which
the
hood?
way the system can oppress people. And I was just
The
trying to
Danish
relate.
hood.
Sorry?
Hey, there's a hood everywhere.
Oh,
How
fine.
in your
Everybody can.
go
The
ahead.
Danish hood.
How are the police in your neck of the woods treating you different than your European counterparts?
Well, I do a lot of activism in terms of in connection with Palestine, and they have done their damnedest to suppress and silence us for the past 6 months.
Now,
Okay,
why
okay,
are
sister.
you?
Go ahead, sister Wani. Go ahead.
Why are you advocating for Palestine?
I was just
Because I
about to
have a
ask
lot
her
of
that.
Palestinian because I have a lot of Palestinian friends, and I'm doing
Okay.
volunteer work in solidarity with them. But it's not only Palestine, it's also Congo. It's like all indigenous, like the whole global south. I sympathize with the whole global south and all
I
indigenous
can
tribes.
understand that. I can understand what you're saying, sis. By the way, this is average. I don't know if you could see who's talking or whatever on your
I
phone, but
can.
here's the thing. Um, a lot of times we do ourselves a lot of bad because we put ourselves in front of conflicts that we shouldn't. Racially, Black Americans, we've been around a lot of different races, day to day interaction for hundreds of years, right? And so our
I'm
approach
aware.
to race typically is different than other, melanated people around the planet, and it's because of how many hundreds of years we've had with other people. What I can tell you unequivocally is that you're doing yourself a disservice by uniting with Palestinians and being in solidarity. It's not a two-way street. And I can tell you this: I hope that it doesn't take you 10 years to find this out, 5 years to find this out. But if you do not change your course now, you will find out sometime in the future that it is not reciprocal. They do not care about your justice, your generational justice, or none of that. They like that you show up for them, but the feeling isn't mutual, even if they say it is. A lot of other races, they don't want to have deeper conversations racially, so they'll smile, they'll be friends with you, hang out with you or whatever, but they're definitely going to let you down. I don't know you that well, so I'm talking to you directly and getting right to the heart of things because I'm probably twice your age and I'm telling you what I know. I grew up in Southern California, which some people call a melting pot, and they will let you down. Palestinians racially are racially hateful towards people who look like us. I'll say people with you
That's a
melanin.
generalization, in my opinion. But go
See,
on.
you're not learning. You ain't learning nothing.
You
A
haven't been around long
generalization.
enough to see the truth, my
See,
sister.
she ain't gonna
Those
say
But
it.
choosing
also,
few
but
friends that you
I'm also
have
doing my.
are one out of the
Hold
bunch.
on.
The whole group doesn't think like your two and three friends you fighting for.
So that's why I shouldn't care.
No, you should
Well,
just
Well,
care about your issues and let them fight for their own. Those shouldn't
Right.
be your issues. Your issues should be for
I
your
hear you.
people and your people only, and the ones who look
Okay, I
like
hear
you.
you. I hear what you guys are saying. I just respectfully disagree.
Well,
And
you're
I'm
gonna
also
learn the
studying
hard way
history.
because that's what's gonna happen
Hmm.
next. You're gonna be in the
Sure,
corner all by
sure,
yourself, hoping for that
sure.
same support you give everybody else, and you're gonna be looking ass out.
Yep, you're
are
completely
you
right.
aware of Palestinian anti-blackness? Are you aware that they call the police on people like George Floyd
I mean,
and
a lot
harass
of
us in our
people,
stores?
a lot of peoples are anti-black. That doesn't mean that all of them are.
Okay. Well,
That's
you
not a
don't know.
good.
And I've had good and bad
Well,
experiences with
the odds are not in your
Palestinians.
favor, what you're supporting.
I mean,
Muhammad Ali,
sure.
the great Muhammad Ali, came up with a great analogy, and this analogy is this: if I have 10,000 snakes, and I knew that 1,000 were good, should I not shut the door on all 10,000 snakes, hoping that the 1,000 snakes will get in and make a protective hedge around me, keeping me from the 9,000 that are going to kill me? Like, yeah, you might talk about generalizations or whatever, but it's a smart generalization to protect yourself. We don't speak out of ignorance. We speak out of a
I don't
lifetime.
believe you do. I
We've
don't
been an
believe you do.
adult longer than you've been alive.
That doesn't
Most
make a
people on this
difference.
stage.
That doesn't negate the fact that I also have a very strong spiritual connections to my ancestors and my home country, even though I wasn't born there.
Did your
So I hear what
ancestors
you guys are
protect you
saying.
from all manner of atrocities befalling your country to the point where you had to leave it to go to Europe?
I never left. I never left my country. My parents did.
Okay, well, why
I
did
didn't
they
have a
leave?
choice. I didn't
Did
have a
did
choice.
their ancestors protect them from being in a circumstance where they had to leave their home country and go somewhere else for a better life?
I mean, I would love to ask my father, but he's not with us anymore. So
Here's the thing: you're
no,
not really winning a
I'm
debate.
actually done
You're trying
listening
to
to you
win an
guys
argument.
because I don't feel like this is constructive
No,
in
no,
any way.
no. It's not
So I'm just gonna.
constructive. Let this African go do African mentality
Right? She'll
things.
learn. A hard head makes a soft behind. You'll
Yeah,
learn.
that's how they don't see racism. They
Good
don't
luck to
see
you,
any of
sister.
those things. And just leave them alone. I have better things to do. What is with the noise on stage?
Yeah, somebody mic is fucked up.
Tyrol, that's your mic.
Is it my mic?
It was for a second.
Yeah, somebody's outside and the wind's blowing or something.
It's more than that. It's like a CB radio or something. It's a CB radio in
Is
there.
it
I think it was
headset?
her. I think it was old girl Mike.
No, I I can hear it now.
Yeah, she gone. Oh, girl's gone.
This is me, Head and Shoulders ATR. I'm speaking now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to clarify if it was my mic. I didn't even really have my mic
Oh,
on. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. What
no,
happened to your
it's
neck,
not.
man? What happened to your neck?
Oh boy.
And I was gonna
He asked you a question. Where's your neck?
man, my neck is just fine.
Oh, okay. I'm like, man, you just went straight from head to shoulders, huh? Just shoulders, just head then shoulders, nothing else. You extra
Man,
roll
that's
out here, huh?
Oh boy.
Just shrugging. I don't know. No, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you.
yeah, I was gonna I know I was gonna point out to her how she called herself where she said she was born but said I'm from Gambia, and then point out, like I said,
Mhm.
most people haven't heard themselves repeat it back, their words repeated back. So she thought that was normal. But I'm willing to bet one, she does not view herself as black. So when you guys were saying this is what happens to black people, she doesn't view herself as black, and she called herself a European. But she also had a contradictory statement saying, I'm born in Denmark, but I am from another country. So I'm going to say to her, because she's most likely still listening, or whoever else that has this mindset, because I really had to break this down. I've been up and down East and West Africa, and this is the easiest way to explain it to people. And if you guys hear a sound, let me know because I got my rabbit that just came right next to me and started chewing on something. But
A rabbit.
yeah,
That's a really random statement.
but the easiest way for them to understand is she may be a Denmark citizen, a European citizen, but she's not a European by her bloodline. And so that's what a lot of these people will think because they are not separating because it's the you're not really African that I've heard so many different times from people. I number one, I never really claimed I was African, but when I'm talking to people, they will just voluntarily just say you're not really African when I say something about their country or hey, this thing is kind of weird going on over here. What do you guys think about that? You're not really African. Okay. And then I say, what about white people born there? So the same thing that she's saying there, they will either dodge that or they'll say, yeah, they're African or Afrikaners. So that's where that's coming from. What I've learned from talking to so many different people, either on a business aspect, personal or whatever. She's not a black person, most likely. She'll say it in front of us, but you even heard it from what she was saying. She's European. She is essentially just a dark skinned white person.
Yeah, mine is European.
But
No,
if
she done lost
I
her goddamn mind. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
but if they
Because
set themselves up for pain, because if I go over to China and stay there 10 years working and doing whatever, I am not going to be Chinese, and they won't even say that. They
Oh
have a
hell no,
certain
you'll be a
kind
threat
of
to society 10 years and you don't look like them. Oh, something wrong.
right. They have a
And
special
you not in jail.
something on their passport or something on their citizenship that says I am not actually Chinese. It's from what I heard. You're not going to be declared Chinese. There's nothing that I could do to be Asian or Chinese. That's impossible. I would always be a Black American living in China. But they are very eager to shed their identities because they don't have. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she take her identity as a Gambian and throw it out the window and
She's
try to
ashamed of her
be
parents.
Dutch
As you can see, they fleers. She was ashamed of her parents, and she's ashamed of her lifestyle. So
and
she
try to
leached
be
onto a
Dutch?
culture she's rejected from. As we heard, she said she's fighting for a whole different cause and ain't got nothing to do with how she gonna live the rest of her life.
That's the difference. When you have a culture, you don't do that. You don't try to be a whole nother group and gaslight yourself like that. There's a big difference because what does she give up? What Gambian things is she going to give up? You can't even mention one. You can't even think of anything off the top of your head that she's given up by being in any other country on earth.
But Sister Wani, as you can see, she didn't take none of the traditions her parents had, taught her, if she had any, and then she's just holding on to a European culture where she don't even know the tradition of, because there she always she said is imperialism this, imperialism that, and it's bad here for people who look like me. Well, why do you think that?
She
Well,
doesn't understand it.
Yeah, she
African.
wasn't thinking. And she
Af-
always had an answer as well, too. Her answer was like, it was just trying to, you know, have a one up and a retort. And she wasn't really internalizing what she was being told.
Right,
She was somebody who
right.
also thought that she was smarter than who she was talking to. Well, that's a generalization. And it's like, excuse me, that's how it works. I just gave you an analogy of a generalization about, 1,000, out of 10,000 snakes or whatever. You can't just focus on the good ones and forget about everybody's going to come at you. But if that went over your head, you know what I'm saying? But it just, it was like, she wanted to just be what she wanted to be. And okay, great. You're gonna find out though. And they always do. And the thing about them is they give me such a laugh when they sit there and don't understand why things are the way that they are. They're so I've seen some of them so sick and twisted in how they want to see the world when it comes to white people and whiteness and being friends with white people, that they'll go through some racism and they'll blame us, justifying how they got treated by the white person who fucked them over. Oh, you think I'm one of them? I am not like them. Like I am better. I work harder. Why do you treat me like this, nigga? It's them, motherfucker. They're the problem. Stupid. Not us. Don't blame us for how that motherfucker treated you. But that's how sick they are. It was kind of like that African kid got shot in the face. The auntie was married to a white man, and she said something that was kind of weird. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers still don't get it yet. This kid then got shot in the face because he saw a skin tone. He wasn't justified shooting anybody in the face because the people, the quote unquote black people who are out here killing people, whatever. That's less than 1% of our population. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about generalizations or whatever. That's a hell. They will signal boost and amplify the degeneracy within a melanated culture in order to harm that culture. But these motherfuckers are. See how sick they are. I'll tell a short story real quick. Kenyan woman, 2008, co-worker. Barack Obama just won. She wanted me, and this is my dumbass. I'm still on some Pan African shit. I didn't know why she wanted me to know that Barack Obama was Kenyan, right? That's my dumbass. I'm sitting here like, okay, like what, whatever. I am a proud Kenyan woman, and a Kenyan man is. I'm thinking, I'm just totally speeding past that shit, right? Because the other part kind of stuck out. I go to church, and the white man is a preacher there. She already done fucked up, right? But me, once again, I'm listening to the story, not thinking you motherfuckers want to go to the white church. That's your fucking problem. I go, and as soon as Barack won, the next Sunday, I'm in church, and he says, America is going to hell. The Antichrist has become president. Why would he say this? This man has known me all these years. He knows I'm Kenyan. Why would he say these things about this man he does not know? Why would he say this about? I'm like, this motherfucker is like, by the way, she was more than twice my age at the time. I was in my late 20s and she was in her early 60s. And she did not know why that white man got up there and said what the fuck he said about Barack Obama. She stuck on how Barack Obama's a king. She took it personal then and still couldn't understand why. Because it was like, damn, this white man talked about a Kenyan. I didn't in that moment. I don't know what I know now, but so many things like replayed to me. She wanted me to know Barack Obama was Kenyan. The dude talking about a Kenyan in her mind was just so fucked up. She was at a church with a white man as her preacher. Like it was all the separation. It was all type of shit. She got her tribalism wake up call and still didn't fucking listen. And that's exactly what that girl did just now. She came up here and she all talking all low and shit. So she's trying to get some game, but she's not gonna listen to the game that she got given, and she's gonna keep fucking
Yeah,
up.
because
It's
it
like,
wasn't what she wanted to hear. That's why.
yeah, we told her the real, gave her that real
Yeah, it
pill,
wasn't what she
because
wanted
I
to
ain't got
hear.
but a few minutes to talk to you, so I'm
Well,
gonna give you the real
we
pill,
broke her
like an
heart right
OG gonna
now.
give to
We
me.
broke her heart.
Y'all got to
What, white people aren't great? No, nigga, they not. They not great, sis. And by the way, you gonna be at college, and if a white boy smile at you and want to fuck you, he gonna give you some dick and say peace. Probably you gonna be a flavor. You a potato chip to him. You a new flavor of potato chip. I ain't never had Jollof rice flavored potato chips. Let me taste. Let me see what that be like. Well, there's that. Had that. Let me go back to what I was gonna get to. You know what I'm saying? You was over there like, I can't believe
Some of them poo poo
he did that
lays.
to me.
Y'all got to realize that
Goofy
a lot of them
ass.
are not used to being talked to in the FBA way because we kind of talk real direct. They
They
need
were very direct.
a pat on the head and
Oh yeah, that's
everything.
right. We were supposed to tell them a story, bro.
Y'all,
Yeah, long, long story. Oh, housing. Did you want to say something? Sorry about the hands and stuff.
No, it's okay. I listened to what
Housing, what
she
up,
said.
brother?
Hey, how your brothers doing, man? I listened to what she said. She said she's had mental health. Nah, the mental health is when the white boys was slutting you out and leaving you at the end of the day. That's what they was doing to you. But I wanted to get on there when she was talking, but I couldn't get in. It's if you check your pockets, she just pickpocketed us. She just robbed us.
Yeah, we good.
Why I say that is that she was a waste of time. She just sucked our energy. No matter what y'all was trying to say to her, she wasn't trying to listen to nothing.
That's
Not
how
jack.
Africans are, and we used to waste time telling them you're going to be perceived as black if the police pull you over. No, I don't care.
It's so
I don't
many.
care who pulls them
Listen,
over.
it's her and thousands of others just like her. When they leave that country, whatever country they come from, they get into America, they get over there, and the first thing they do, they look for white daddy at the end of the day. And they turn their nose up at black Americans. We the only group, we the only group that holds it down. I repeat it, I said it earlier. We hold it down. We have our moments, like the brothers said. 1% of the brothers, Ray Ray and Pookie, acting up, cutting the fool. But outside of that, we doing our numbers. Every
But
time you
you,
hear on TV black on black crimes, but you don't hear white on white crimes. And they killing each other left and right. You go in the little small towns, Mr. Ed killed his whole family, and he's sitting in front of the porch like it's okay. And they take him, book him, and then they kill his story. But they killing them left and right. They killing their whole family. And I think they kill a dog too. But they
did
literally
you
doing that.
The
did you
dog.
hear her pompous, typical African pompous attitude about how the North American school systems are no good? Really?
Yeah, I heard that immediately. Let me know if y'all can't hear me because the
I
fan is on.
can.
I can hear you.
I Okay. Okay. I heard that immediately, and it made me feel as if she said that because they make her feel a certain way about herself, so she needed to speak down on someone else because they make her feel bad just for having dark skin. So she needed to reassure herself that she was just like them, even though she isn't. That's what that was giving
Ye-
to
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah, she's shot. She's lost. There's no helping her. No matter what the brother was saying to her, she's shot. She gave in before she even came to over there. Where she said she was from, Gambia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she already bent the knee before she got on the plane.
Well, she
They bent.
said, I'm from Gambia, but born in this way. It's very confusing because these Africans have shed their identities and they go over to the UK. I'm Irish, and now they want to sit there and tell the Irish people how Irish they are and have all kind of, outdoor podium stands to tell them that they don't know what Irishness is. These are identities that literally they created. They had other names, right?
Right,
And they landed on Irish for whatever reasons. It's none of our business. And her big head cannot, like, just segue into what they're doing and call herself Irish. It doesn't make any sense. They're trying to
right,
treat every country like it's America, and it is not. These are ethnicities. These are ethnic groups. And yeah, you could say some Africans were over there 50,000 years ago, but they're not there now, and they weren't Irish people. The land has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the majority of the identities of the people there. And you can't be that. You cannot be those identities. France is kind of different, but you cannot go to these places and become these ethnic groups. It doesn't even make sense.
Right,
What they're doing, Wani, is they're trying to seek a higher ground because Africans are so low on the human totem pole. They're constantly trying to be elevated on that human totem pole. Totem pole. You even see it with Mexicans when they say, I'm an American." Like, no, you're not. You're Mexican, and they know that Mexicans are so low on the North American totem pole that they're trying to climb that totem pole. They're trying to seek higher ground. And as an African, you don't want to be known as an African. Nobody will respect you anywhere you go. So the first chance you get, you go to Ireland. You say I'm Irish because well, the Irish have some type of respect, and that goes back to the whole notion of we have no culture, this and that. No, we have a culture. They don't have a culture. They're gaslighting. They have no identity. You know,
right, and
depend.
and
Oh,
and and, and check this out. We are the only group that stand on where we from, no matter where we go. I'm American. I'm a black American. No, I'm American. Simple as that. They come, the Africans go to these other countries and they too embarrassed to tell people where they're from. Like the space last night, Wani. That guy didn't want to tell us where he was from.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want to tell us where he was from. He stayed with us for a few hours.
Malawi.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he still didn't tell us where he was from.
We squeezed it out of him.
He
He
was
said
embarrassed.
Zimbabwe, Zambia,
He
he said
said
Southern
hella shit. I remember
Africa.
that guy.
Then he went
Right.
all over the world and finally he fessed up to some dish in Malawi in
It
some
was the
region.
monkey brains.
Yeah, I hit him with
No,
the
it was
monkey.
a
But
conga cake
right.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
I have
yeah.
has
a
The mosquito, the
question,
mosquito
mosquito. Yeah.
Wani.
skeeter
I have one
burgers.
question. This is for everybody. Can
Hmm.
y'all tell me why is it that they're embarrassed to tell where they're from? Can somebody explain?
yes,
Break it
because
down to
because
me.
Africans are ranked low on the human totem pole. They're
Right?
ranked. There's a human hierarchy that exists that Black Americans have never observed because we're on top of the human hierarchy. And on top of the human hierarchy is the United States, and then you go like to world powers like Chinese, you go to the Russians, you go to the Germans, you go to the Western Europeans, and on the bottom of that human hierarchy are what? They're Africans, they're Indians, there are Hispanics, and so you know that you're not going to get any respect if you say you're an African. Nobody's going to listen to you. They're going to say, get this African out of here. That African can't talk like we've allowed these people to talk to us in a way that's really strange. Like when I had Africans talk to me that way, I big dogged them in front of white folks, and they felt really bad. And I just kept doing it to them to let them. And I was like, I said, yeah, I'm letting y'all know that I'm here in this hierarchy, and you're way down here. And those white people are not going to ever come to your defense. They're going to come to my defense because they don't want my identity as an American to be equal to your identity as an African. So they're never going to defend you. And they had to learn that by me checking them in front of white people. And so if I'm an
Okay.
African and I'm a Nigerian, I'm not telling y'all I'm Nigerian. If I'm there, hell no, that's embarrassing. It's
Right. And that African sister sound pretty educated. She speak well and everything. Her English was real good. But you know, but Wani,
Why was
if
she in North America trying to go to school if Denmark schools are so great? Or
No,
wait,
she
she
said she
said
went to
this.
Canada. Canada's not north.
yeah,
It
Let me
is,
see.
but we don't claim it.
Geographically, it is
We
technically.
don't claim it
It's
though.
not America though. It is a North country, but it's not America. She said she
it's
went to
just
school in Canada.
it's
You
just
see, she
cold up
said that
there.
because she couldn't directly talk down on the USA. That's why she used the term North American.
That's what I
She didn't
thought.
say
Right, because
Canadian.
I was like, Canada is not North America.
If she's still listening, bring her back on.
I think she boned out because it got too hot. Yeah, so she
Yeah,
wanted to
average lit her
put
up.
down
Yes,
she
Average gave
wanted
her
to
the
put
business.
down our country on the sly, and then she But why didn't you go to school in the country you were born in since they know how to do it? See how she's trying to flex the foreign country that she has nothing to do with. She's just been squatted out over there as an anchor baby. That's why
Yeah,
anchor babies are some of the worst individuals on the planet. They're extraordinary. Talk about a tragic mulatto. They are completely confused, talking down on people as though she is some European from where'd she say
goddess or something.
Netherlands or something.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Denmark, yeah, Denmark needs to drop kick those suckers out of there because the reason that we have to hear a lot of this is because they have allowed them to get into civilization and a Wi-Fi connection. She wouldn't even be on this app in Gambia. That's why I want them all deported from everywhere that has a Wi-Fi connection. Civilization. They can't handle it. They have to be pompous, they have to be stuck up, they have to throw digs and shade and ew, you guys, your schools are messed up. Ew. You know what?
And where's the lie? There's no lie to
But
that.
she
It's
she
all
hasn't
truth.
even
It's
been over
all
here to
been
find that
proven.
out though.
Mm.
Where's brother Average at?
Right here.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself? How
He's
you?
he's Martin
I'm
Luther
okay.
King.
You got a
Excellent.
This
different average. You got a different tag. I don't. What is it? 80. What is that? 81.
Which one?
Your
Nah.
picture.
Oh, nah. That's that's Dr. King. A little bit younger, but with the American flag in the background.
Okay.
But
Okay.
shoot, you should have seen the profile I had earlier, man. That was really different.
Right.
That was a whole different profile, man. I had Professor thinking I was somebody else. The only person who really knew was Nikki suspected, and then when I did the Billy D. Williams, then she knew what it was because she
Okay.
she posted a Billy D. Williams skit of me a while ago. Was it about 6 months ago or something? Because he said some cool shit, so I did a Colt 45 commercial real quick and then impromptu. I think I called her up in a voicemail. She took the voicemail and made that shit a clip. Forgot
Hey, Wani, I
what did
have
I
one more
say?
question, Wani. Not to cut you off, brother. Professor said he was gonna close it at 12, at 7. I mean 11. Is
no,
that
no. He said 11 minutes.
all right? So he's gonna put the phone down. We're gonna have fun.
Right. Who's this guy Bennett?
He ain't in it.
Bennett,
Yep.
are you
That's
in
that's
it?
what I've been wanting to
Where are you
ask.
from, brother?
Oh,
Bennett Francois.
Born Queens, New York, raised in Miami, Florida.
Get
Haitian.
the fuck up here.
Haitian.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in this room a couple of times before. I've heard you guys talk.
Any problems?
Are you related to Ben Vereen? Do you are you related to
No,
Ben
ma'am.
Vereen? Did you got Ben in
No,
your name? Oh. Oh.
Mm-mm. I'm not gonna do it with you today. Mm-mm.
Do you have any problems with the room topics
the room topics.
or the commentary?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that flew past me. I don't remember them. But I mean, we could go to the what is it? Why are foreigners against reparations? I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not against it. I think if Black Americans could get what they're supposed to get, I won't even say supposed to get, but I wouldn't vote for anybody, any politician that would put that on the ballot.
I respect the honesty.
Yeah,
I knew it.
You personally or people in general?
I wouldn't personally vote for anybody that would put.
Why not?
The reason being is because the
Hmm.
person who started this big momentum with the FBA and all that, he vouched for a white man to be black.
We got one.
Yep.
Was
We got one.
I don't know what he just said though.
Go
How
into
about you?
detail. Go
How
into
We
about you
got one.
detail.
Haitian, right? Is
Hold
this
on,
guy Haitian?
Wani. Let Wani have him.
There's noise on the
I don't know who
stage.
Wani is. I don't know who's supposed to have one and all that other stuff.
I'm not trying to get one. I'm just saying that this isn't about people you don't like.
I,
It's about a debt that's owed. It's not about people you don't like. But we already know that you are would be against us, but you would be for yourselves getting reparations,
no,
correct?
no, 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 no. Rep-
You want reparations from France, right?
no, I don't. Um,
Okay, whatever.
so let me understand because I don't agree with what you said. It's okay, whatever. I was born in the United States. My parents
That
would
doesn't
hold,
mean
You're still not
anything.
an American. You're Haitian.
my parents would get reparations. I wouldn't get nothing,
Oh,
nor would I care to get anything.
okay, so you, if,
And you
okay,
say a debt that's owed.
okay,
I've spoken.
so you, and, okay, so whatever France owes you, you don't feel that you would benefit, only your parents would?
And France fucked up your homeland, so I mean, why wouldn't you want them to fix it?
and they still fucking up y'all homeland. They got
That's why. That's why you're here fighting us. You
lake.
should be fighting France for your money.
No, 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 homeboy. Um, I'm not fighting nobody. The reason,
We know.
You're here to fight us, though.
no, I wouldn't fight y'all. The only reason I would
Look
vote,
what you just said, brother.
that's the way you
You
take
said
it.
you wouldn't vote. You say you wouldn't vote for
That's
anybody.
the way you would take it, and
Bro, you
that's the
just
main
said you wouldn't
the,
vote to help us get our
that
just dues. You just said
that's
that.
Yeah. Allow me
So
real
yeah.
did
quick.
they
Go ahead,
send back to
whoever.
Haiti?
Handle your business.
Go ahead,
Handle your
go
business.
ahead, bring it.
Hey, I'm not gonna bring it the way. Anyways, don't say
Real
that.
quick,
But
that Mike
yeah.
noise,
On a second.
Tyrol just
On a
dropped
second, bro. Let me do what I
like
gotta do. Let me do
to
what I
try
gotta
to
do
back up.
with Bennett Francois. All right. Listen, your reason for not voting for reparations is incredibly personal and doesn't really stand on much. Tariq Nasheed was born, I believe, in 1974. Slavery ended in what, roughly 1863, 1864, 1865, right?
65.
So we're talking about 110 years roughly,
Hmm.
right? Now, what Tariq Nasheed says and something that he did in his life, it shouldn't have any bearing on what people are owed for a quarter millennia of work. That is one man, and that's what your issue is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what your issue is with him. Tariq Nasheed, reparations were needed before Tariq Nasheed was even born or thought of, before his father was born, before his grandfather was born. Has nothing to do with him. You're using that as an excuse to say what Black Americans shouldn't get. And you're doing this obviously as a Haitian, but you know,
No, that's it. Look,
it's
look, hold on, hold on.
it's disingenuous though,
It's
because
disingenuous to
reparations.
people
No, it's
it's
disingenuous.
disingenuous to
It's
people.
dis. I'm not done. Okay, I'll let you say that bullshit. I'm not done.
Okay, look, hold
It's
on. Wait.
disingenuous. It is
I'll say. Look,
disingenuous
I'll let you go ahead
to
and
to
say what you
use
got to
one
say, but you're
man
not going to talk to me.
as an excuse. And you say, yeah, this whole FBA thing or whatever, we're just a lineage, it's just Black Americans. That's all, making sure that people make a differentiation when it comes to when we got here, because people like your parents, who you said would get reparations, they're not Black Americans, but they might say they're Black Americans. We want to make sure that they understand that we were here at the founding of this country, and we built this country as well. Now, when you get something for free for a quarter millennia, right? You don't pay people, and then after slavery is over, you burn down everything that they have. You take it, you murder their greatest leaders, the greatest among them. You undermine, sabotage, rape, murder, pillage, and then you give outsiders something that they never fought
Which
for,
is
because
France
Black
is doing to
Americans,
his
of
country
course,
right now.
Black Americans saved this country multiple times. Civil War, we saved this country. That's irrefutable,
So did
because they
Haitians.
didn't give us our freedom.
So
They
did
didn't give us
Haitians.
our freedom.
So did
No,
No,
you
we
didn't.
saved this
Haitians
country. You
sir,
didn't do
saved your
sir,
And y'all
country,
sir.
still
This is
getting your ass whooped over there
and
right
then
now.
you stabbed each other in the back after you saved your country. Here, we're talking about us. Remember, you came here on stage and talked about what we shouldn't get, and that's fine. But you used Tariq Nasheed as a flimsy excuse.
no. That's
It's kind of like,
you take it like that.
no, you said because I
You
don't
said
like
that.
Tariq Nasheed because of what he did. You said that, bro.
Yeah.
We heard what you said.
Hold on.
We heard what
We
you
heard you
said.
say it.
You can't back off
But
now.
I'm
I'm just
glad that
saying
he
it's
said it.
flimsy, bro.
You
I'm
flip
glad that he
flopping.
said
That's what
it
you're
so
doing.
that when I, make sure that I don't want his kind in this country. We don't need enemies in the country, enemies of ourselves. So that's why
Well,
they're going
well,
to
well,
live
well.
under,
Hold on.
that's why they're going to get deported, and the
Thank
ones that
you.
aren't deported are going to live under pressure and be looked at like you should be deported and be unwanted. And slowly but surely our people will see that these people are more hateful than any other groups
No, not at
because
all.
they have close proximity to us to get in our business, and people that are close to you can hurt you the worst because we expect white people to say no. And surprisingly, some of them say, sure, you should get it. But all of these people say that. I mean, they're in the 90 percentile of saying, no, you shouldn't get anything while begging from things from CARICOM and other groups. So, yeah,
Yeah, we got a
keep on
Byron
talking.
Donalds in here, y'all. He a Byron Donalds.
Anyways,
I got
Keep
one
on
question
talking.
for him. I
Poorest
want to ask
country in
him
the
one
hemisphere,
question.
Haiti.
I want one. I want to ask just one question, and I'll let it go. Now, Bennett, let's say Haiti tomorrow, right, could get everything it ever lost, right, and everything that's ever been taken from it since it got its, independence in 1804, right?
uh,
But then Black Americans in mass said, you know what? I don't think they deserve a motherfucking thing because I don't like the way that they betrayed their leaders who helped get them free in 1804. Now, I believe that would be a really good excuse to say fuck your reparations and your liberation or whatever and all of that. And it'd be a far greater excuse to use for you not to get your liberation than what you just used with Tariq Nasheed, just a personal opinion. Because you guys actually did betray your leader, stabbed him in the back, and you really undid what happened in your revolution, right? But does that mean, even though that happened, whenever it happened, does that mean that all the people alive today don't deserve to be free in their homeland? Would that be an applicable reason for me to say fuck them? I would never vote for them to be free. Would that be an applicable reason?
sure, yes, yeah.
Bro, you are
Okay.
sick in the fucking head,
Remember,
bro.
no, no,
Who,
no.
who,
He
who,
spoke. He spoke.
who?
He just said Haitians don't deserve to be free. Basically, his own
No, no,
people
no.
Right, I
don't
know, I
deserve.
heard him.
That's
He's
what you
sick in the
said.
fucking head. This dude is
That's
sick.
what he just
That's
said.
why he's here in America.
Facts,
I
facts,
knew
and
he'd take
Goddamn
the
culture.
bait.
leech. Go take
I
your
knew
Hey,
he'd
musty
take
ass
the bait.
somewhere. This dude is crazy as fuck.
I
rage
knew
Y'all
he'd
bait.
fucked
take the
up, bro.
bait.
This is rage bait. That's all it is.
Yo, fam, he's
So
not
should you
crazy.
you
He
and your
just
parents
want
get sent back
listen,
to Haiti?
listen. He just want people to think he's crazy. He's not crazy. It's just who he is.
I
So,
just want to know, do he think him
Oh
and his
yeah,
parents
facts.
should
That
get
is his
sent back
culture.
to
You right,
Haiti?
Housing. That's his
so
culture to
anyway, so
That's
backstab
like,
one
who he
like,
another.
is.
You
like,
He's
right.
not crazy. He's got all his faculties, but that's just who he is.
yeah, but I,
It's plenty
you see,
more like him.
well, I was being
Mr.
sarcastic,
Ben,
but that's cool.
should you and your
No,
parents get sent
hey,
back to
hey,
Haiti?
hey, 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 enough is enough. Let me say what I gotta say. Because when it's all said and done, crack rock never existed in Haiti. You
Nigga,
guys,
y'all got more than
you,
crack rock, nigga.
it's
You're
a lie.
eating
You're
each
Man, you
other.
talking
lying.
I
about?
know you must be crazy.
Hold
Not
on,
only are
let
you
Wani
You're
have him.
You
lying.
Let
Caribbean
You're
and
Wani have
indigenous
lying.
him.
you
to
Go
are
ahead,
Black
See
Wani.
them?
America.
not only are you
Let Wani
crackheads,
have him.
I didn't call you
you're drug
crackheads. I said
addicts,
crack rocks. Did not
and you are the reason they even got up
you
here.
guys?
And
You
you're
guys betray.
literally, you
Your
literally are
leaders.
eating each
You
other.
guys don't betray your leaders. You betray your community by selling crack.
No,
We didn't
you
bring crack
sold it.
here, dummy. We didn't bring cocaine here.
How
Crack
did
Caribbean
we
cocaine was
did.
grow
invented at
cocaine?
Hey, bro,
UCLA in the
can I say
60s.
something to him real quick, bro?
We didn't invent
I
He
removed that
crashed out.
idiot. I hate them.
Hey,
it.
Yeah,
Bennett.
they have crack in Brazil. Like, what is he talking about? It's crackers all over this hemisphere.
Hey, Bennett. Bennett. Hey, bro, you from Jamaica, right?
Haiti, Haiti, Haiti.
Haiti, right? Bennett.
Wani removed him.
Think she got him up out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, no, he's trying to make excuses because he said some dumb shit and he betrayed his people too, just to make a point. And I knew he would fall for the dumb shit because he was dumb. He made a dumbass Tariq Nasheed excuse for us not getting us not getting reparated and him not supporting
Facts.
it. And then I said, hey, well, y'all betrayed y'all people in 180 after 1804, and maybe y'all don't deserve to get free or whatever. Yeah, hey, I don't think so. Okay,
Look at their
all right.
country now. Look at
They're
them now.
literally setting each other on fire and eating body parts. I'm not going to hear anything from Haiti. You literally came over here, ate our dogs and cats, and pulled geese out of the lake. They had a whole
And they still doing it.
meeting.
They still doing
Damn.
it on the
Yes.
way out.
We had a whole meeting about it, and everybody in the town, black and white, wanted you the hell up out of there. And then you start crying on the video, talking about we had to leave Springfield. Yeah, stop eating people's pets, weirdos.
They're like, he said, we betrayed our community. Haiti's a failed state. Like,
They're the
dude,
ones who
right
spread the
now.
drugs through our town. I'm not going to let them off with that.
Let's talk about where they hiding out in Florida selling
They
drugs.
have entire gangs spreading
Yes, in
drugs.
Florida. And also, Wani, I think that they in Mexico too, right on the border.
Yeah.
They got a Haitian crew down there,
Yep.
right in
Yeah,
Mexico.
they run right through Mexico over here, and that's what I'm glad is stopped.
That's what got the black Americans who were traveling there to get a medical
Yes,
procedure done. The Mexicans thought they were a Haitian gang. They're
Right.
they're
yes.
they're actually in Chile because I dated a girl who's from Colombia in 2018. They're in Chile doing that. They're everywhere doing that. He's talking about what we did to our community, bro. You all over the hemisphere wrecking shop. What are you talking about?
No, he's another one, right? That don't acknowledge his country. He think he's American.
Right.
Right, right.
At the
I
end of the
heard
day.
that. I heard that. He said he was born here. So his
At the
And
end of
parents
the
never
day.
here.
will be. I
At
don't
the
think
end of
they
the day.
I don't think they understand what's on their passports, and
Right.
I don't think they understand what's in the genealogy records forever. For the rest of his universe, it
Right.
will always say where his mammies came from and all of that. He'll never be American, not on paper.
And
Wani, I'm a firm believer, right? When they come over here, they so humble. But once they get them two nickels and they rub them together, nose right up their ass.
hmm
They're too
All of them
old.
do it. All of them do it.
They're too old to
Yeah,
be
man.
that ignorant. I think it's not even like they believe they're from that country. I think it's more like whatever benefits them, that's what they're going with. Because at the end of the day, they know how to identify us very, very easily. So they don't think that they're one of us unless it benefits them. Then it goes to, oh no, nigga, we are Black American too. Like, okay,
Hmm.
or if it's something negative, then it's us too. Because it's
Yeah.
just too often. But then when it's one of them doing something good or whatever, if shout out to whatever country they
Yep.
think they're from and they weren't even born there, they don't even know anything. And here's the other thing. Here's the killer. Here's the thing that is heartbreaking for real, for real. Like when you were saying earlier with the tragic mulatto thing, the country where if they're born here, that country don't even want their asses. They're like, you're not one
Wow.
of us. They don't even want them. I hear this all the time, and I'm just like, damn. And then I tell them it's your culture to be tribalistic and stuff. But then they don't. Now this part they really don't get. I know this one for sure because in one breath they'll say, "My country don't want me." Because I was born here and they say you are like them, you're like the Americans, or you're quote westernized, okay, which means you're too much like black Americans or something like that. But then on the other hand, they'll say, uh, we're not the tribalism is kind of okay, it's not that bad. It's like, bruh, none of us, it don't matter if it was an FBA person born somewhere else, we about to recognize our people and say, yo, what's up with open arms? And we've done it to non-FBA people. So your people don't even want you. Your own cousins don't want your ass. Your family members, not even strangers, your family members don't even want you when you come over here. So that's just how bad it is. But the ones that's over here born, it's whatever benefits them. They'll say anything. And that's the slimy part. That's why they can do this human trafficking stuff. That's why all of these people can get away with these white supremacists because these people are just like, whatever they saying, they gonna flip.
Yeah, but the Haitians are even worse
From
because
what you're saying,
yeah, the Haitians are worse. They're like, you're the poorest country in our hemisphere. Who are you talking to like that? Like, we need to start just checking people. Like, I don't like the level of disrespect that we tolerate. Like, we're a superpower. We built the superpower, and some low level Haitian feels the audacity to puff his chest out to us. I mean, we got to stop letting these people on the streets. Just to your children. I mean, this is. I feel embarrassed that we allow them to get two words off. Like the whole world looks down on Haitians. The whole hemisphere does.
I'm so glad that we
It's
checking
these
them now,
fake
though, bro.
ass coalitions, brother.
I'm glad we have delineated.
But we learned something too
Hmm.
by letting him talk and tell us who he
Yep.
was. We learned something. We learned a lot.
Absolutely.
And that's the most
Absolutely.
important thing.
Listen,
Because you
they
let them
did a
talk long enough, they'll tell you who they is and what they about.
absolutely.
They
Listen,
pancakes.
they come over here, right? And they got these pocket programs for all the immigrants. And they tell them, whatever you do, you don't mess with black Americans. Yes,
Then
mommy.
why do they? Leave us alone.
But they bring them right
Because
into
they
the neighborhood.
ops. They ops they sent in to undercover, undermine
No,
us.
you're
Yes.
telling people that commit
They
genocides
agents.
against each other, shat in the street, eat cats and dogs, not to go near us. Well, good.
Well, Sister
Yes.
Wani, that goes what we was talking about the other day. They gonna send in our own to kill us, so they ain't got to do it. But now that we realizing the whole situation on the game, the game board, we at they necks with the bullshit.
And
It's
again, and
ridiculous. They're the ones with the gangs. They're the ones with the gangs in other people's countries. We don't have any international crime and we don't have organized crime. They're the criminals. They're the genociders. They're the cat eaters. They're the child sacrificers. They're the ones throwing bodies in the street after they do IFA
Witch doctors, you
sacrifices.
forgot witch
And
doctors.
they're the witch doctors. They're the voodooists. They're the ones doing all kind of stuff. And we're the ones to be avoided. I wish you would avoid us. I wish you would.
They can't because they told to come in
they
and
can't, Wani.
get information from us.
Wani, they
They
don't
are
have
the
no other hood.
informants.
Listen, they don't have no other area to go to and live. They can't go in the white area and live. So they got to come into
Not
the
my
hood.
problem. Not my problem.
Absolutely, it's not. But this is the only place they could go. And let me tell you something. They give them housing. They give them everything. They give them everything. Like somebody mentioned Al Sharpton. Like this guy here, Al Sharpton. That's all he talks about. Helping immigrants, this, that, and the third. But if you go to
Hmm.
Harlem, you go to 120. What is it? 125th and Lexington. It's so horrible down there. It's like zombie land down there. None but blacks.
I thought that was where the Hebrew Israelites irritated people.
No, not right there. No, right.
Where do
No,
they irritate? Where do they
no.
irritate
Listen, Wani.
people?
I'm talking about 125th on the east side, Lexington, right
Okay.
there. It's like
And where do
zombies
they scream
land,
in the side of your face?
huh?
Where do they scream into the side of your face?
Oh man, it's crazy.
Where?
What do you mean? Say
Where
that
are
again.
the Hebrew Israelites screaming?
The
And the
Israelites.
apostle
They,
said,
no, they no.
I repeat,
They in Brooklyn. They deep
Z47.
in Brooklyn.
Oh, they moved over to Brooklyn? I thought they
They
used to be
they
around. Oh.
no. They all listen. They all over, but mostly
Hmm.
they in Brooklyn. They all over.
I
They
saw
all.
them
I don't know
screaming
where.
at
I
a
don't know where they
I
got their
saw them
headquarters at.
screaming at a gay Jewish boy, and that was so freaking funny. I swear to God.
Hey, I saw that too.
He was like his
You
whole
remember when
nervous system shut down.
Wanda? You remember when Kyrie was going through his situation with the
Yes.
basketball league,
Yes.
and you noticed that like 2,000 of them came out, and start marching. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of them be in Brooklyn.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
the black, what's up?
Yeah, these two recent interactions with this confused African that's in the insane asylum whispering and shit because she stole a phone and this dirty Haitian just proves that we don't need to be humanitarians no more. Fuck that shit. It done got us a whole lot of wannabe copycat haters. I'm sick of that shit. Like the must in the funk that he brought into this room just fucked up the whole aura. I have to take me a shot and roll me a blunt because like Lord, it's fucking grind my gears. These
I feel you, bro.
funky individuals. Like the only good part was average coming in with these different voices and shit and making it a little entertaining. But it reminds me of yesterday and the other funky African that didn't want to claim his homeland and his mosquito eater. It's just like damn, like what's wrong with y'all? Like leave us alone, folks. We beat y'all up. and they know they don't want no problem. So it's like chill. Like we trying to be y'all little friend and show you how to be a little cool and give you a little swag. And now y'all think y'all the shit, and
No more
we
of
gonna
that,
have to
bro. We
show
we
you.
done delineated. Now I'm so glad we
Yeah.
delineated, bro. I'm so
Now you
happy
gotta
we
take
did.
your girl.
Facts.
And how you looking like a buster, like the way you is. But what the little Lando dude was saying when he repeated Marcus Garvey's words. I really feel like his speech was kind of like putting all the Africans and dark skinned people around the world on game. Like, y'all see these niggas over here? These niggas doing a whole lot of fly shit, and we need to get like them. And unfortunately, they didn't want to go with the plan. So shit, he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get what I can get out these niggas, cause these niggas out here doing their motherfucking thing." And unfortunately, yeah, some of our ancestors got caught up in the bullshit, and he came up a little bit. But yeah, these motherfuckers don't need to be allowed to come over here no more. Like, we gotta check y'all at the door, pat you down, and check your breath and your hairline, and make sure you cool to come in here.
Put
Cause
some deodorant on their ass.
yeah, you gonna fuck up the vibes and shit. And you know how a lame nigga come in the party and shit, it just scare all the girls away. Like, no, bye, buddy, bye. Just stay away. Cause now I'm understanding, like, I love my brother Robbie Blue, but I understand his anger sometimes when you go through all this and try to be a good upstanding citizen and deal with people in a civilized manner, and they don't understand that shit. It's like they like abuse. These yeah, these people are sadomasochists. Like they like the abuse and like to tag along, and yeah,
Lust for punishment.
yeah, gluttons, like real gluttons. Like, that's a sin, sir. Like, stop it. We don't want to deal with y'all no more. Like, but they don't give a fuck. It's like, it remind me of, I know Nikki follow Adonis, our brother that's overseas in Europe. And I was watching some of his videos early on YouTube. And when TikTok went down, like, these folks are so delusional and be worrying about what the fuck we got going. Like, yeah, they was crying. Like, they over there talking
I
about they
couldn't
miss us and
believe
shit.
it.
Yeah,
They
we
gave
gone
us
seventeen
a welcome
hours.
back party and we were only gone 5 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? We gone 17 hours and they over there having a mental
Cause it's
breakdown. Like, oh
dry.
my
They ain't gonna
God.
have nothing to talk about unless they can copy off of what we're talking about.
Yeah. They gotta go back to beans and toast. Like, ain't nobody going
Oh
viral
Lord.
off no beans and toast. I don't see that. No haggis. Like, oh
Yeah,
my
that shit
God,
was funny as
no
hell.
thanks.
That shit was funny as hell. Talking about some my beans and toast.
Like, come on, man. Like, that shit trash. They were so happy
They eat World War II rations.
yeah, like, come on now. Like, they still living in 1932. But it just shows that, like, yeah, they can't function without us. So I see why they come in here and accept the abuse and just sit around and just listen to us talk shit to
But
them.
they started it coming in here. Oh, I just wanted to say all the schools over there suck. If you don't get it, I'm
Yeah.
European and I'm Dutch. What?
Her ass was in the closet. She done stole one of them
Yeah,
workers'
she took the nurse's
phone.
phone.
Yeah, she took the nurse phone because she told me she's in an institution. Like, I know
I'm
y'all still work off the
institutionalized.
old European lingo, the old English lingo. That means you're in an insane asylum, lady. Shit, like,
I'm
come on.
institutionalized, but I needed to take time out to insult you. Good
Yeah,
night.
like, you can sit your crazy ass down and hug you a south wall.
And she
Before we
also
hit you with a
mentioned
pillow.
that she had what is it, emotional
Something,
problem or
they gave her
something.
ass a lobotomy.
If you think you're European and Dutch and you're African, of course you have an emotional problem. And she
Yeah.
probably went to school over in Canada and they kicked her to the curb too and said, "You're not Canadian." But my question still stands. If Denmark is so hot, why didn't she go to school there? Why is she dragging her behind to some? other place to leach.
They don't
They
allow
Where?
they don't allow folks like that to go to their schools. They don't. It's
what?
too much. It's too much money. If you listen to her, that's what she was talking about.
But let me ask you a question. Ain't Denmark, don't they have the
I
prostitutions out in the windows and all that?
uh
Nah, that's
That's the
Amsterdam.
Netherlands.
that's the other
The
That's
one.
the
Netherlands.
Amsterdam,
Netherlands.
the
Oh, okay,
Netherlands.
okay, okay.
But in
I thought
But in
Denmark had a
Denmark, they
little
have to
rise in
pass.
a little white nationalists out there and shit. Them
What's that?
baby
Like
Hitlers.
the little, oh, the little Hitler groups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they,
Denmark is real expensive to stay there. It's more expensive to stay there than in London. So they probably couldn't stay there. She probably whoever she with or stay with couldn't afford to stay there, let alone go to the schools there, because they use that as an excuse to keep people from going to their schools. They
but
And
set the
she
she,
bar so high.
but she
I don't even think
said
she
that
go to school. I think she's being pimped.
she said
She
though
probably
that she
was.
was comparing it to our schools, and it's like, well, if you are comparing it to something, then what you had was okay. So why did you leave it?
Because most of the schools in Europe and in Korea and in Japan, depending on how high you place, and they call it university, we call it college and university, but depending on how high you place, that will determine your career path, and they only allow in a certain percentage of those who to place at the top. So most of these countries don't allow you to just take any career path, and if you don't test like in the top, like I think 20%, then you don't go to college. They kind of they establish who's going to be a bricklayer, who's going to be a veterinarian, who's going to be a PhD. These things
Yeah.
are kind of predetermined. Yeah, so in the United States, you can basically say, I want to go do this as a field, and as long as you get your degree, you can go do that as a field. But you can't do that in Europe. You can't do that in Korea or Japan
Mm.
or China.
Nope, they
Now,
decided based off of
so
your academics. They decided based off your academics because that's how it
Martin
is.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter asked Sexy Red to remove her stupid picture of Martin Luther King Jr.
I ain't gonna lie, what she said
Yeah,
the other
she took it
day.
down too.
She did? Oh, good.
She took it. Yeah, she took it down, but she offered no apology. She just quietly deleted the
Hmm.
post.
But what his
She's
daughter said the other day was real. Like, if he was alive today, like it was a lot of people that didn't really like Martin Luther King, white and black. If he was alive today, yeah, a lot of these folks faking the phone.
Yeah, many of them is these tellers. A lot of these tellers don't like it. I was talking to one today that was talking trash about him.
A lot of them old niggas
I had to
too.
check him.
Let's be real, a lot of them
Let
old
me. I need
niggas.
to find out who in their country I could do the same
They
thing
don't
to. I'm
have
trying to
any.
find
they
Remember
out.
don't have no
when
one.
I tried to make a disrespectful post about some Ethiopian individuals and I couldn't even think of, well, I could put Haile Selassie on there, but no one knows his face. And there's no
Right.
other famous person. You can't even make a post about it. They don't even have, that's why they're mad.
Only person you know is well shit, Mandela. That's the only motherfucker somebody know
It's
about.
only two other people then that I know. It's Near Kuma and
But
Prince
no,
Lumumba. That's the
but
only two
nobody
other
knows
people.
their faces though.
What
No,
about
nobody don't.
That's the sad part. You got to put the name up next to the face to just to clown them. That's how pathetic. I got to put up subtitles on the meme.
you can't do AI, Wani?
What you mean?
Like give you a visual image of what's his name? Salancelot?
No, I got his picture.
Right?
I already made a post of him doing something, but
It's
oh,
just
never
that nobody
mind.
know him but us.
Bro, you know
No,
what?
But
Salif,
yeah, you got to put the name under him because nobody knows him.
but also the
Yeah,
problem
nobody don't know him by name.
the problem in Ethiopia would be, I think Selassie belonged to, was he Tigrayan or something like that? I can't remember, but
I don't
Ethiopia,
remember.
yeah, they're very tribal. They're still fighting tribal wars in Ethiopia, so they might not care, because if he was from a certain tribe, and the other tribes will look at it like, well, screw him. He wasn't from my tribe.
You're
It's
right.
not just Ethiopia. It's a lot of tribal wars going on over there. Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
Well,
but
All I
like I
know
said, they
is
can just
Ethiopia.
keep on doing it. Keep on doing it and get rid of yourselves because you ain't doing me no good.
The United Nations come out exterminating them. Australia and UK, they had a meeting in like 2021 or something. They had this big meeting when they was talking about exterminating all the melanated folks on the continent of Africa. They called them
When?
useless deadbeats.
Well, that's
Now,
true.
I keep telling these folks that's on the continent because of my interactions in business dealings and other stuff that one day these folks are going to come in, mainly Europeans, but a lot of those Asians, and they're going to be the Africans, and they're going to tell you that they were there all along and that you are the foreigners. And that, these people are always like, oh, really? That's going to happen? And then, or the other half, because it's almost 50-50 in the reactions that I get, or the other half, no, that's not going to happen. And I said, these Afrikaners that y'all call them, the fact that y'all even acknowledge them as African anything, they're already telling you, and they got videos saying, we are the real original people down here. You Africans, you came from up north and you immigrated here later. That's what they're
That's
literally
true.
telling
No,
them now.
they have a whole thing now where they said, look at this wall that was built and you didn't build it. And it was, they're trying to like reverse engineer themselves. And everybody knows them fools came. They are not there first.
They making them speak Mandarin
The
in what is
Khoisan
Senegal?
are there first. And
In
just because,
Senegal, they got to speak Mandarin. It's mandatory,
where,
right?
where?
In Senegal,
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
yes.
Yeah, these people, see, it's not even up to us though. Like we know this, but the people over there, they're just allowing them. Because think about it, like for years they were trying to claim Egypt and whatnot. But if those people over there are going to allow them, they're slowly just pushing out. Because I remember listening to Khalid Muhammad,
Good.
and when he was talking about how that Middle East area, even up in, I think it's until World War II, and they were like, hey, that whole area right there, that quote unquote Middle East, which is Southwest Asia,
Mm-hmm.
technically now, that was Africa. So it's like, okay, all these countries, Iran, Iraq, and all of them were technically African, but then they got invaded by outsiders. So then that got pushed down. Egypt is eventually just going to be claimed. It keeps going back and forth every with that debate that they got there. Then you're going to have those other northern African countries. That's why they say sub-Saharan right now, because that's basically
Mm-hmm.
saying, yeah, all the dark skinned folks right there.
Mm-hmm. All
And
the
then that's going
people
to
that
move
the
on.
Arabs pushed out with their invasions. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to keep on pushing these people until they're eventually gone. And that's what they tried to do with us, but it's just not working. So these
But it's
invaders and
two, it's
whatnot,
1.3 billion Africans
Yeah, it's a
and
lot of them.
400 million, 400 million Arabs. Yeah, I think it's 400 million.
Yeah, and then the Indians are probably going to be the more likely to do that because the Indians, and I'm talking about Greater India, not just India proper. It's like 2 billion of them right now. If you look at Greater India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and if you in
Yeah,
India,
what are they doing over there?
they just keep multiplying.
How?
I,
They
I I don't
they
know. They
can't
just
even. Well, maybe that thing was right. Remember, Durex did that test and said they can't fit the condoms.
well, they all have they're all very small. That's what my understanding.
They can't wear condoms, guys.
they
Oh,
tried to do that in their country and they just refused. And the HIV rate and all those other things are going up, including the babies. So
How
I'm
about
like,
we try
man,
balloons? We'll just get some little balloons and try again.
wait, who is this? They can't fit condoms. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did a Durex did a survey. They can't fit the standard condom. It
Who
doesn't
can't?
work on the
The Indians.
Yeah,
East
the,
Oh
the,
my
the real littles.
Indians.
goodness.
That's terrible.
East Indians.
That is so
Oh
Anybody
terrible.
my
anybody
god.
want dates? Anybody want some dates with some East Indian guys, people?
No, no.
man, they call up all the time. Some of my female friends on
What?
Facebook video chat, just butt ass naked, just
See?
random from all over the place. It's creepy. It's creepy.
Thirsty. They thirsty, huh? They
That's
thirsty for
sexy,
that
yeah.
monkey tail.
They want that
They
green
need it.
card. That's what they looking
Don't
for.
That's
don't
sexy
Indians
though.
have the most birth deformities?
I don't know, but they have some wild
Yeah,
ones.
that's where I've seen.
They got some
Yeah, I
crazy
think they do
stuff.
have the
Yeah.
Tree
most birth
trunks coming
performance.
out, horns, tails,
Yeah.
I've seen them in
big ass
Mexico
tree
too.
trunks, hair all over them. Bud.
See, I can't tell if Indians will take over or not when it comes to what these white supremacists have done because their tribalism. I will at least say this: the tribalism between Indians are way worse than anywhere on Africa, and they're in one country. And
But
it's so many of them everywhere. At first, I thought it was going to be an Indian takeover because I'm noticing, I'm like, they're becoming CEOs here, and then they got their prime ministers in several other countries, including the UK for a moment. And so I'm like, okay, they're going to just all snap and then come together. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, they got their own problem. And they're starting to have that conversation, thanks to us, about the delineation or calling upon their people to get together. And some of them have referenced Black Americans in their talks. I'm hearing some of them on YouTube, and that was like a year or so ago, where they're like, "Hey, we got completely whitewashed. We don't even know our own culture. We can't point to anything. These people are here." But that's a small minority of them. They are bowing down to these white supremacists, but I still can't tell if they're going to do a secret takeover. I can see China doing something like that because they're kind of more loyal to each other. But these Indians, they're
Well,
so
they'll just
tribal, they're just going to destroy themselves.
no,
Yeah,
they'll just
they
outnumber
still.
they'll just outnumber everybody. They're like conveyor belt people. If you look at the Indians and the Africans, they have the conveyor belt man uniform, flip flops, skinny jeans, 135 pounds each, all 5'5". They all just conveyor belt men. And if you can just pump those guys out, from Africa to India, you'll outnumber everybody. I mean, you might not have good quality, but you have a lot of conveyor belt men.
Yeah, they got the country with the most open defecation. India is right now. So
Hmm.
yeah, I doubt if they be doing any type of hostile takeover. You got
mm,
a few smart ones. I'm not
That
gonna
is
lie. You got a few
hostile.
smart ones.
That is
That's about
hostile.
it.
Squatting turds on people is a very hostile
so
takeover.
they just literally do it right out in the street on a regular.
I never saw it. I saw Chinese people doing it.
You
They
see
got a
Slumdog
whole damn
Millionaire? Slumdog Millionaire
river
has a
that they
very,
shit
very
in and
scene.
bathe in.
That's a weird scene in Slumdog Millionaire where the kid is covered in shit. Like it's
Yeah,
bad.
for real. It's
Yeah,
that bad.
I know
I've
one
seen
thing.
them bathing in filth.
Yeah, the little and the Ganges River where they shit and put
Yeah,
bodies
it's
in
They
and
shit
yeah,
bathe
in
in
it.
and
it's
That's
gross.
basically what they was depicting. That's basically what they was
Yeah,
depicting in Slumdog Millionaire. That
it's
they
Yeah,
bathe in
dirty.
the shit water
I
because it's the
tell you.
most polluted. It's the
Listen,
most polluted river on Earth right now.
I tell
Because
you,
most of
in
the
the
pollution is
Bronx.
human shit.
Listen, in
But
the
their
Bronx, they
pride is
got a.
off the chain. Their pride is off the chain. They are like the most prideful people. I can't tell who's more prideful, them Haitians or Jamaicans, when it comes to you ain't got nothing going on in your homeland, but you over here just pumping your chest and talking down to everybody else. It's just crazy. I had a vice president that I was going from Naperville at this conference, and this lady, and at that time, this was back in 2012. I did not have the mindset. I'm just like, I just kind of had the, yeah, kind of weird that she's saying it, but I didn't make the connection with this Indian woman and her homeland at the time. So when we went from Naperville, the people in Chicago, you guys know how the suburbs, it's like a buffer area where it goes, oh, these are the houses, and then it's like this zone where everything's just kind of jacked up for a couple of blocks, and then it goes back to, oh, this looks good again. So we went through the zone where it was kind of sort of, a little jacked up, but black people still getting their stuff together, and it had the bars on the shops. So she's like, "Oh, oh my goodness!" She literally said it just like this in her Indian accent. Oh my goodness! How do people live like this? What kind of people live here? And I'm just like we were in the middle of some kind of conversation with the CEO, which he was also Indian, and comes to find out she was trying to date him. He didn't say anything. He just kind of looked at her like, but he didn't say anything. And I'm looking at her like, what the heck? I said, yeah, it's just shops. But now that I think about it, I don't know if I could have held my tongue to a lady that was technically my boss because the ignorance that just, not the ignorance, the stupidity of her just saying, how do people live like this? It's like, ma'am, your homeland.
Yeah, she's from what? These people just want to be brand new and want us to not know where they came from. It's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah,
why
they got the
that's why they
largest
got rid of
trash. They got the largest trash landfills over there. So they trying to.
Slums.
Yeah,
that's why they
yeah,
got
that's
that's why
crazy.
they got Vivek out of there.
He think he gonna be
Vivek,
governor of Ohio.
oh, because I'm gonna tell you right now, calling Americans mediocre and being an Indian, and then watching how those white folks was just shitting on India, like I mean, bro, like you're Indian, you better watch your mouth. And this is what I mean about
Yeah, they gonna
hierarchy,
lynch his ass. They
huh?
gonna fuck around and lynch his ass.
Yeah, he, his political career is over.
Yeah, if they don't lynch him physically, they gonna lynch him politically, one way or the other.
And some of these people are ignorant of the times that they live in. That Vivek is about to get his ass handed. The only way he wins is if they rig those machines. That's the only way. Because I can't believe any conscious American, black, white, are going to vote for this dude because the dude is a clown. He was not even popular during his primaries, and every time he opens his mouth, he puts his foot in his mouth with some section of the population. It don't matter if it's black people one time, then it goes back to white people, then he tries to deflect on black people again. I'm like, dude, Iowa of all places, a swing state. I was like, yeah, nah, it's not going to happen.
It's because he's trying to play a game like a white man, but he's not a white, just on paper.
He
Exactly.
thinks he's white. These people are really crazy. He probably thinks I moved to a white country and now I'm identifying as white, just like yeah, I just watched two women on a documentary cry about France after they were asylum shopping and going to multiple countries. An Asian woman, she was Chinese, and an Arab woman sat there and said, "We're not being perceived as French," and crying about it. How could you be French when you're Chinese? And how could you be French when you are covered up in a burqa and you're obviously Arab? And you just bounced to 7 countries and bragged about it in an article. Why would anyone want to bestow an identity on you when you're not even loyal? Just what is wrong with these people? How are you going to not be Arab? What are you going to do with that nose? How are
It's
you
like
not going to be Chinese? It's not going to happen.
And you know,
White
it
people
would.
got them all messed up.
they can't understand that white folks do not trust people that they can't be trustworthy for their own people. They the least white folks are the least skeptical of people like that. They hate those people the most. If you have no trust or no loyalty for your own people, they hate you the most, and that's why they go after them. It's Nilly Fuller always points out. Shout out to Nilly Fuller. He always talks about that and make that a point. Like the ones that get it first is usually those who are the coons, essentially. The coons are their ethnic.
That's why they say it's the Jews, because that's their white brothers that they don't want to claim.
Yeah, but you shouldn't let
Yeah,
any
they hate
you
claiming the
you shouldn't let
Jews.
anybody become, part of your nationality. A Polish general once said that a nation is defined more by its dead than its living, meaning that a nation is defined by its history, as opposed to its borders. Like Poland didn't exist for large portions of history. It was a part of the Russian Empire. It was a part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but the Polish people still existed. And so after World War I, they were still able to reconstitute Poland. We give anybody citizenship. We say they're an American. Like you're not an American. If America's borders somehow dissolved and we had to reconstitute America, you would not be a part of that reconstitution. You would not help rebuild that society. You would not help reclaim those borders. And so that's why if you're a person of any love of nation, you would never want all these different groups of people to be identified as an American, because then it's the theory of everything. If everything is true, then nothing is true. If everybody is an American, then nobody's an American.
Right. And you saw how that guy acted. I mean, yesterday when we said there's like a little less than 200 countries and everybody comes here feeling insecure and needing to have a little China and a little this and a little that. and they all need to have a month to celebrate their backgrounds. We simply don't have that kind of time. I'm not going to be sitting there, press 198 if you speak this. No, I'm not going to sit there and accommodate all your languages and sit up on the phone for 50 hours waiting for my language to pop up, which you're going to put last because Democrats were in charge of stuff like that. And they would put English last. Weirdos. I mean, no, nobody's going to do that. They shouldn't even have a. I stand on that. Caribbean month about what? A Caribbean month about what? You have multiple countries where you can celebrate Caribbean heritage, which is Bob Marley. What do you need a whole month for to talk about what? You only have one thing, the little music genre we made for you, and you took it and ran off with it and started worshiping Haile Selassie and all the rest of the dumb stuff you did. That's fine. But it doesn't take a month to say how dumb you are in one sentence.
Why is it kept, Wani? They don't even listen to Bob Marley.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, Bob Marley was mad because we wasn't listening to him, and
Why
white
would
folks
I?
was.
Yeah.
He got mad because white folks liked
Well,
him
white
instead of
people,
black
that
Americans.
makes sense because white people like to play black are like they like to play black music genres and regurgitate it back to us and go, look at how we're playing your music. Which of these white boys is playing your music genre the best? Is it
That's,
the Rolling Stones? Is it this one? Is it that one? Like, what are you guys doing? You're playing our own music back to us and then competing with each other. Are you lunatics?
that's the
Are you
little brother
really
complex.
crazy?
No, they believe what they're doing. What they're doing, they believe it. Like whatever they're doing when it comes to our music, the media and everybody glorifies them,
They're the
Cause
but it's
it's
media,
straight
though. But
trash.
they're the media, though.
that's cause it's
Yeah.
amazing that a white boy can have a little bit of rhythm like some niggas. Like, oh
Right.
my God, did
That's
you
the
see Elvis
comparison.
shake them hips?
But
Like,
Wani, that's not with just music, especially the sports, any kind of sport.
Nah, it's
yeah, who was the
everything.
first white boy to dunk? I know they was happy when he did that shit. Did you see Jimmy do that?
Exactly. Little Jimmy over here being able to do anything. If Jimmy sneezes, oh my goodness, did you see Jimmy sneeze? That's how this is. That's how they
And
react to everything.
during the Olympics, we were just, slam dunking everybody, stuff in everybody's face and just totally mopping. Oh, I just wish it would come back. I need to brag immediately. I need to be an arrogant ass right now. But anyway, I have to wait till the next sport to come around. We were killing them. And you know what the white boys were saying? They couldn't root for us. So they start telling us how cute a Norwegian sprinter was. She was pretty for she was a stereotypical attractive white woman, and that's their comeback. There's a Norwegian woman that looks good. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with American sports winning gold medals? You're not even in your country. They jumped over to Norway to talk about an attractive sprinter. People, this is
They're doing it.
lame.
Wani, they got the first Grand Slam is being held in Australia. Coco just got knocked off yesterday.
Oh,
So it's going to be boring now. No one want to watch those
yeah,
two.
they're
Those,
dull.
yeah, those two tennis players that's about to go and play for the championship. Well, it's the semis now, but they're boring. They're not exciting. They
Right.
don't look good.
They need to have the contrast as something to root against, but it looks a little crazy when you are an American. You're supposed to root for Americans. They've been doing this since Debbie Thomas skated, and they started rooting for Katarina Witt.
Right.
She didn't have the country behind her. They're not patriotic. They're the opposite of patriots because we're patriotic and they root against us in our country while we're at war. I mean, I don't even trust these people to go to war with because of their attitude. They're anti-American and they'll shoot America in the foot just to spite us. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I was rooting for some white boys during the Olympics. I'm like, shit, it's America. That's the happiest. Only time you gonna really see me rooting for some white boys other than
Yeah,
Lucas.
rooting for America.
When they
Yeah,
playing, when they competing against a different country.
Yeah.
my favorite part was seeing them the boo boo face on them Jamaicans.
Don't
Like,
get me started on that one. I need
oh
a Christmas
Lord,
channel.
I think Wanda, you're talking about Femke Bol from the Netherlands, and she got beat by two Black American women, and she almost got beat by a third. And they were talking about how great she was in the 400 hurdles, and she got beat by Sydney McLaughlin. She got beat by Anna Cockrell, and another one almost. They almost swept it, and I almost hit the floor laughing because they were like Femke Bol, Femke Bol, Femke Bol, and she almost got swept. She almost didn't even get to the medal. And they were talking about like the day before, a couple days before, how she ran down the American girl in the mixed relay, and then they ran her down the entire time after that. And I was just laughing my ass off. I was like, yeah, she shot her shot, but we have so many more great Black American female 400-meter runners, 400-meter hurdle runners too. They were like, oh my gosh, like yeah, that's what y'all get. I laughed my ass off. I was hoping they were going to sweep her though. I was hoping she was
Now,
going to.
this is like I was saying that I know who you're talking about too, but this lady, um, there's even an article about her being attractive, not being a good athlete. You're at the Olympics to be an athlete, not be cute. But no, she's on here. You can easily pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Her name, no, but I know who you're talking about. They did the same thing with her too. They tried to talk about her like from a looks point of view. And oh, look at her. Another thing they do is they'll start judging themselves, like when they do the marathons. Well, I was the first white guy behind the African people. What? Why don't you just go home? That's not good.
the first white guy behind Africans.
Yeah, the first non you this is what they'll do. Because when that stopped working and then you started getting black Americans finishing in front of them, they will say the first non African descent. I heard that from the British announcers, and I'm like, wait a minute, huh? Now y'all just switched it up that because y'all losing that bad. You got
Mm-hmm.
to go down to
Mm-hmm.
21st place before you get a European. Because it'll be like somebody running for Britain, like Mo Farah, but then it'll be like first non-African descent, and I'm like, didn't Mo Farah just win for the UK in this 10K? Nope. They ain't really counting it. They're like, yeah, we'll take it because that's all we can get. But when they get a chance to, for a white person, first non-African descent. I'm like, dang, y'all.
But wasn't that why they was mad?
Yes.
Cause all these mixed breed people in all these different countries.
Man, look,
That is definitely weird.
they hype these people up. I had that sports channel until I just switched it to science about 2, 3 days ago, and it's mainly track and field, but I covered other sports. And Femke Bowl was, they do the classic rising star type of thing when they talk about black people. So the world record holder obliterated this thing multiple times. Every time she come there, like Dalila Muhammad, her being dark skinned, they ignored her until they had to be forced to talk about it. Then it goes to Sydney McLaughlin, and then they're like, "Well, Fem Cabole is it's like the main contender, and somehow the world record holder is the challenger." That's what they were doing all over my videos, all in the articles in her country, and I'm like, "Come on now, just say that she's one of the top athletes, number 2 or 3. That ain't bad." That is not bad, but don't hype her up. So because when y'all hype her up this much, she about to get obliterated. And I was having fun during the Olympics, trolling the Jamaicans, trolling the white people that's all over the place, because they all formed up against us. The Olympics is the most obvious, any sports match is the most obvious sign that we got traitors all around. There's no patriotism here, and there's a bunch of traitors everywhere else. Because when Noah Lyles, another thing, Noah Lyles got that win, they even convinced my sister that propaganda when those Jamaicans over and freaking over said, "Oh, every time there's a tie, there's no such thing as a tie. USA wins." And I was like, no, because when our world record holder in the 60 indoor tied, quote unquote, with somebody else, they gave it to the Italian dude. When we had these ties before, 3 times before, 2 of them went to Jamaica. And it was from the same coach that coached Noah Lyles. He's just good at the lean. He knows how to coach his athletes at the lean. And then I trolled them for 4 freaking weeks straight to the point they start tapping the frick out, except for the ones that's, in the paint. And they just like, look, we admit it. Because there were so many Jamaicans kept going on everything. Oh, look, Noah Lyles, he's not the world's fastest. He got third because he faked COVID and he got,
Come back.
yeah. It's just so bad that they did it. I was trolling them every day. Y'all know
Well,
how
well,
sometimes people come in here and troll. The hello nigga, I did that to them every single day, multiple times on my YouTube channel on those posts. They were crying, and some people unsubscribed.
You got mileage out of that because they won one gold medal
One,
in last year's Olympic. One, and they have 26 lifetime medals, and we have nearly 1,000 lifetime gold medals. Don't even want to talk about
Wani,
the silvers and the bronzes.
Wani, you got to remember, it was Jamaicans running for the USA. Some of those medals are Jamaican. You know that.
no, 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 no. Gabby Thomas, she's FBA. Her mom's FBA. Her dad's Jamaican. They
Sonya
were they weren't.
Richard
They weren't
Ross, Sonya Richard
Oh,
Ross,
you're
she
talking
Jamaican.
about
Don't forget
you're
that.
talking about every hold on, you're talking about in recent days though, right?
yeah. Sonya Richard Ross.
I'm
That's
trolling.
kind of like that's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm trolling.
Yeah, remember we had Marion Jones.
Okay, yeah. She's from Belize. Okay, I know what you're
She's
doing.
Caribbean and she got jacked up.
I know what you're doing. So what he's doing is all the Jamaicans who kept saying that we were winning, we were only winning because we had like those were actually Jamaicans. I know what he's doing, and they did that in every comment section. Every time we won, they
Mhm.
would say, "No, this person over here is Jamaican. This
Right, they
person."
think they're going to do that.
Hmm.
But that's not going to help because all they can talk about is track. We're in different sports. And that's the difference between us. We're in almost every sport that the Olympics has to offer.
Well, we
Sports that
also
we are not even aware of.
our best athletes don't even run track. Our best athletes are saved for football, other sports. They don't go into track. I mean, a black American child will probably more likely be in baseball before they'll even play track. They might even be in boxing before. So the best athletes, they're going to go into, in the basketball, obviously, if they're tall. Everybody plays football, and if you're fast, they're going to put you on the football field. That's just what they're going to do. Even if you're generationally fast, they're going to try. I mean, we've had 4-2 quarterbacks, quarterbacks that can run 4-2s. You know what I'm saying? And if they just ran track, they would be phenomenal. In the track field. You know what I'm saying? Even basketball players that are blazingly Allen Iverson was incredibly fast. Who knows what he would have been if he'd have just
Wait, you
ran
said
track?
Allen Iverson?
Yeah, Allen Iverson. He'd just been a track
Um,
runner. Michael Vick is another one. Both from Virginia, by the way. Same place, Hampton, I believe. But incredible athletes. They don't go to track and field. We put like our athletes who it's hard to find a kid that just wants to run track. They almost always want to do something else. Jamaica, that's their best athlete. He is going to be running track, and now they're not even winning anymore. They had Usain Bolt and Shelly Ann Fraser, and Shelly Ann Fraser had her reign, and Usain Bolt did, but that was it. Now Black Americans, I think we're starting to run track. There's a kid. We have some kids in the pipeline that are really doing it. There's a kid who's already broken Usain Bolt's under 20 records. He's
He was
ran. He
8 years old, right? 11 years old.
no, he's 19, but at 18 and 17, I think it's 17 or 18, he ran like a 1949 in the
Yeah, Arian
200.
Knight.
Yeah, Arian Knight, and that's the one because he ran for IMG in Florida. But then there's a kid named Quincy something, and he's 16, and he made the Olympics as an alternate, and he's running things in the 400 that are unheard
I
of
seen
his
that guy.
age.
I seen him. I
So
seen him, brother.
the men it's all but sewn up on the men's side. The women, it's we have some really strong runners on the women's side too that are coming up. So I mean, it's their reign is pretty much it's over unless they have a Usain Bolt again. But with the way that Noah
yeah,
Lyles and Arian
steroid.
Knight is running, it's
Thank
it's
you.
not looking good.
Bolt was on roids. I believe that whole
He was on
Jamaican squad
roids.
was on roids.
They're
Nobody.
not tested the same way.
Exactly.
Look, look,
We're tested
look.
way more stringently. I mean, you can't even take cough syrup if you're an American athlete. And the Jamaicans were like missing tests left and right. I'm sorry. I think I think they were doping because no Jamaican comes
They
here.
were.
Yeah, yeah. None of them come here and perform at that level. You ever notice we don't have all these Jamaican athletes because if you're fast as a sprinter, that translates to more than just running in a straight line. It's explosive. It's you can jump like that. We have a female fencer. She's a black girl, black American. She won. She beat like the top ranked fencer who's an Italian girl. She was just quicker than her. She was a lot faster than her. So I'm like, being twitchy, it doesn't just translate into running in a straight line. I think the Jamaicans were definitely doping. I have no doubt in my mind they were.
I just wanted to say there was a time, I think after Carl Lewis, when we kept being passed over for a lot of like commercials and signed being signed for stuff, and a lot of track and field people got tired of it because it's like they're the best in the world, they're running, and then at the end of it they don't get anything but a gold medal, and how do you do? And then they want to bestow all the commercials on the white guy that came after them because he had blonde hair or something. So they were doing that. They tried to do the same thing with Anna Kournikova and Serena Williams. Anna Kournikova hadn't won anything, and they gave her a bunch of commercials, and they ignored the Williams sisters. So they did that in track and field, and a lot of our runners got tired of it, and they went into more lucrative sports. And that left a void, and then you've got the Usain Bolts coming up, and yes, he is surrounded by people that use steroids. He himself has not been caught, but I suspect if everyone around you is using them and getting caught, that you too are engaging, but just simply did not get caught. So, no, I don't believe anything. And I know that we're the best athletes and that they're not. And the only reason that they have any level of success is because they've rubbed shoulders with us and trained on with our people as usual.
You
You know,
know,
the
I give
world
him
the world
benefit of
record
the
holder.
doubt because he
The,
wasn't caught. So I give him benefit of doubt, and I just say it like this: world record holders come and go, and they just gonna be American at the end of the day. Because every time the Olympics come by, we see the tethers come out in full force. When Noah Lyles won, it was, oh, he cheated. Oh, he cheated. When Sha'Carri Richardson lost, and it was because of the people at the Olympics messing up, her and Shelly Ann Fraser Price. They made excuses all day. Half my Jamaican crowd was making excuses for her, and I had a large ass Jamaican crowd. It was very uncomfortable because I'm like, man, us black Americans don't really be keeping up with track and field, and I understand until the Olympics come around. But I was like, dang, I want a black American audience because man, the numbers. But anyway, the half the crowd is like making excuses for the other one. She didn't perform. It don't matter what happened. I was like, okay, I can respect that. You know what happened when that Julian Alfred won from that small nation? I'm forgetting offhand right now.
Saint Lucia, Saint Lucia.
What they were doing on Twitter and all over the place. They were now it was every time a black American won, actually this was what happened. It's
Oh, I know. I saw it.
black people are together. Black people are together. As soon as somebody else beat us, it was this nation, and it was very embarrassing. That's why I decided to troll them because it was Jamaicans doing it, and I was like, man, I'm pissed the f off. I can't allow this to go, so I'm going to use my platform that the Olympics even takes on some of my stuff. That the World Athletic Organization and all of these committees they be watching my channel and stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna use a little bit of bully power to put them in their place because I knew they were keeping track of my stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this for the next freaking month. I trolled the mess out of these Jamaicans because every single time an American was winning, they said, oh, it was black people, black people, black people. Every time some other person that was black, some other non FBA, some other non whatever, it was whatever nation that was. And that pissed me off when I saw Sha'Carri lose and it was, oh, shout out to the Caribbean. We're making history. It's like, wait a minute. And then even the St. Lucian, 100,000 of them, they were like, "Can you allow us to win? You guys been winning all these years. We can't even enjoy our own." They made them angry because they were just trying to claim other athletes. You know, and went to high school in Jamaica, so technically that's a Jamaican win. And I'm gonna be
Oh
like,
my God.
Losers fighting losers.
Yeah. Hey, the women's 100-meter hurdle record holder is a Nigerian. She missed 3 drug tests and she was supposed to be banned from the Olympics. She ended up going and she couldn't even get out of the semis. All 3 of our women beat her, including our woman who wants to run under the Puerto Rican flag, Jasmine Camacho Quinn, who's actually a Black American but runs for Puerto Rico because she knows she ain't getting out of the U.S. trials. But I laughed so hard because Toby Omosan is the women's world record holder. Failed 1 test, missed 2 others, was supposed to be banned, and couldn't even get out of the semis. And all the Nigerians were holding their hat on. Oh, Toby this, Toby that. Like, dude, she's doping. How do you miss how do you fail a test and miss 2 others? That's an automatic ban.
That's why I hate how they handle my Oak Cliff sister, Shakari. She just smoked the blunt and
Yeah, that was nothing. It was ridiculous. That's not even an enhancement.
yeah.
But the Nigerians have been caught doping multiple times, and the Chinese and the Russians, and they even paid an African to lose so a Chinese man could win a race.
So that's why they
Yo,
be running forever because they doped
we
up.
always get flagged. We always get flagged. And like you was mentioning about how when a Jamaican win, oh, this is Jamaican. They do that over here on TV. Like if they graduate from college or something, but when we competing with them or we doing anything, oh, it's a black thing. It's a black thing. We all together. But soon as they get awards and everything, they separate themselves. This is why we delineate. Get out of here.
That dude on Ocho, Emmanuel Ocho, when Shakari had her issue with marijuana, he was trying to argue that it was an enhancement. Oh, because it calms you down, and I'm like, God damn, the treachery
He
forever,
hates us.
the
Hate that goofy
treachery,
ass.
the jealousy, just always trying to undermine and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then they believe all things and make all considerations for others. Black, that woman lost. It wasn't just that she smoke weed. I'm like, damn, she lost her biological mother. I'm like, you realize how just the fact that she's even here and running and still got up and got to the trials, like, and we lost. There's a lot of viewership that gets lost because this is an American that's going to represent women's track and field. It's one of the number one events that gets seen, and people didn't want to see the 100 without Sha'Carri Richardson, and it was like because I didn't watch the Olympics that year. I felt I boycott. I'm a boycotting ass dude, but you know what I'm saying. I boycotted. I didn't watch the Olympics. I still don't know who won, male or female, in 2021 because that's when it happened. It was 2021 because of COVID instead of 2020. But yeah, and then she lost her biological mother, who she really didn't grow up with. So she was devastated because it's like even though she might not be with her mother, because some people try to argue that, well, she gotta, didn't grow up with her mother. I'm like, yeah, but there's no chance for reconciliation. It's over. Like that could devastate somebody of Shakari's age. I think she was 21 at the time, and you may think that you have forever, and now it's gone. There's nothing. Your mama's just gone, and the questions you might ask or anything, there's none of that. So she smoked some weed, and I'm like, oh well, she knew the rules, and and the U.S. could have actually. It was on the U.S. It wasn't on the Olympic. The U.S. could have actually let her run, and they decided not to. They always like to be overly punitive to make a point. And the one thing I like that's cool is she kind of played the game because I don't know. I felt like I always knew that she was male leaning when it came to her bisexual thing or whatever, but she played it up and got that Nike contract, got her money,
Right
got,
after
got
that,
her
she got
bag,
that big.
and
They
started
gave
rolling
her the
around with a
bag.
dude. You know what I'm
They
saying?
gave her the
She's been with a
bag.
dude for the last year now, and she looked real happy and just real into him. She got that bag first because Nike wanted to see her be a lesbian and shit. She got that bag, and next thing you know, if they have a baby, that baby is going to win a lot of Olympics because that man is in track and he's the fastest 60.
Ooh,
He's the fastest 60-meter, I believe, of all time. He's the fastest 60-meter runner
that baby's
of
gonna
all
run
time.
right out of her.
Yeah, so
Say average. You know what's crazy? By Ocho, Acho being raised in Dallas, and him knowing how my city is. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he should have understood what she was going through, because shit, quiet as kept, shit. My city treacherous, but it's not well known, because we keep shit under the table. We don't talk about too much. But I I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Just by him, he was chill. He like kind of like a Jim Jones. How Cameron broke down Jim Jones. He chilled in the hood, but he was raised around white folks. Know what I'm saying? So like when he made that book about the Jewish people and black people, I knew it then. Like yeah, they dropped him here to be an agent, and he has been a good agent and good coon to the white people, especially to these small head people.
Stephen A. Smith, little son.
Yeah, I mean they
For
know what they're
sure.
doing. They got a formula. White people know us. They got a formula. White people have studied us. Me and brother Mikhail, we talked about this. We talk about this a lot off the app. But just studying people, understanding their patterns, what they are, how their brain works, and all that. And we've been studied, and they know how our population is different than their population. They know that African that was up in here who didn't want to listen when we were trying to get her head right or whatever. That's very typical of them. They all you got to do, everything that worked on us a long time ago works on them now, and even more so because their level of colonization, that shit is even deeper on their brain. It's an even deeper mind fuck in some ways than slavery. Because us, we fought our way out of it. Them motherfuckers still be colonized and they think they won some shit. Like I talked to a South African, he thinks that the war is over because what? I can go buy things now because I used to not be able to, but I can now go on a white part of town and go buy things. He think everything cool. I'm like, motherfucker, they control the money. They control your money, dummy. And you're 90% of the population, and you got barely any of the damn money. That's all your money. And they came in and took it. Now you think everything is good because you can go buy something from them that's funded by the bank that has all the money of your people for generations, but you think you'd have made it because you can buy some goddamn snacks and groceries on their side of town, further giving them even more fucking money. You know what I'm saying?
Brother,
But that's how they brain is. So that colonization thing, it go deep. And Emmanuel Ocho, their brain, that immigrant slash tether, thing, that tether and immigrant brain, it's like, you know what? We made it. We got we got a good grid. Our electricity works all the time. The sewage, we ain't got we can drink out of this clean water. We done did it. Why are these black Americans always complaining? Because they think that we should respect where they came from, how shitty it was where they were. So you should be happy that you're not coming from where I'm coming from. No, motherfucker, you should be happy that you're not where you came from. And you should have made it better because we did live in a place with no fucking plumbing. We did live in a place with no technology. I was in slave shacks and shit, sleeping on dirt fucking floors, just like you guys are today. But we were sleeping there. We got up from slavery and built some shit, and then we kept fighting because we knew that if we didn't have, if we were missing just one crumb less than a white man, something wasn't right. We'll fight for that fucking crumb. And by the way, it's bigger than a goddamn crumb. But these motherfuckers, they be like, look, I'll take less, I'll do less. Just don't send me back to Nigeria, like that crying dude said in that goddamn video. I just please don't send me back to Nigeria. That motherfucker he was like, he had the snot bubble, he had the suck cry. You know when you cry and you can't stop crying and shit, you get
Yeah.
slapped in the chest. Please don't see me back to don't see me back to Nigeria. They will kill me. Please don't see me. I'm like,
His
God
soul was
damn,
hurt.
how bad is Nigeria? Shit.
His
That
soul
nigga
was
was
hurt.
mad. That's
I've been
home.
to
The motherfucker didn't want to
Mexico.
go
I don't
home.
care.
If I go back to Nigeria, they would kill it.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
home
Cause he was
waiting for
supposed to
him with
come
What
back and
did you
bring
Mercedes.
them
do
hot
over there?
dogs.
Yeah, he was acting like he about to get his head cut off as soon as he got off the bus.
He probably
Uh-huh.
was. No cap. For real. A lot of them,
he
their
was
own
he
family.
was crying like that fat kid on the roof and lean on me. No, sir. No, Mr. Clark. I don't you can't kick me out of school. No. He was crying like that
You
shit and
smoke
said
crack,
that
don't
motherfucker
you?
had to go back.
Hey, listen.
You smoke crack, don't you?
What about the Mexican in the restaurant when ICE came and got him? He didn't want to get his hands off the counter. They was arresting him. He said, "I don't want to leave. Please don't leave. I don't want to leave." And they zapped him with that what you call that gun?
Taser.
They tased his ass. He got real humble.
Hey,
Yeah, he
Hey,
let
I
go
was
of that
talking to
damn
Nikki about
trumpet.
that video she
what's
posted.
that sound?
That video that Nikki posted a day ago, where like, oh my goddamn, Trump just put his hand on the goddamn Bible. He just started work, and they canceled them damn ICE. That them all the benefits they was gonna get. They was like 20 minutes shy of getting it. I told Nikki, I said, I can't laugh at that. I said, but that goddamn Charlie Murphy laugh at the end of it fucked me up. He said, he broke out that shit, and then what messed me up, I went back and looked at it again, and I heard her. She was sitting there shaking her head. She looked like she was crying. She looked like somebody died. Ay, Dios mío. Ah, my God, damn!
Nah,
Is that
go back to
serious?
your country
Yep.
and get your benefits from your own country.
And they should get
Yeah.
they,
Remember, these
they should give
people
every
would
Mexican
rather
they
be
deport a
homeless
folded
here.
Mexican flag too.
These people would rather be homeless here than to go in their country and have a one bedroom apartment. I didn't talk to too many damn homeless
Mhm.
ass, borderline homeless ass, no visa expired ass, Ghanaians, Nigerians in Houston and other
They got a
areas, as
Nigerian
well as
flag,
some of
don't
them
they?
Colombians.
I bet
You said
I
what?
bet they got a Nigerian flag somewhere, don't they?
Yeah.
Man, somewhere they probably sleeping with that thing with they borderline homeless, and some of them actually are homeless. Because I started talking to some of the people, because I'm like, if I'm gonna give some money to some homeless, I want this to be Black Americans. So then I start talking to people, and then I find out this person's visa expired, and I'm like, man, these the first ones that about to get deported. And I find out these people, Ghana, these are sometimes it's women that's there, sometimes it's men. It don't matter. All of them the same. Colombian, Ghanaian, Nigerian. I have not yet heard one person from another country, and I'm like, why don't you just go back? Oh no. And I said, wouldn't you have a place to stay and everything like that? Oh yes, yes, I would. So why don't you go back? Oh hell no. Oh hell no. I'm like, okay, man, I'm telling you. I am telling you. And this was before I understood the delineation. So I'm just like, I was confused at the time. Now I
My
realize.
God, they could come and get food stamps and medical and everything over here. They're giving them apartments and everything. Well, not right
Uh,
now. Trump is on deck. It ain't happening.
Lando, did you want to say something?
Oh yeah. Shit. You guys
Are
are
you
one hundred
eating?
percent right. Am I muted? My mic on?
No. I heard some clicking. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. That was my comb. Um, fuck. Thank God for the internet and social media because I don't know why people come up here and lie all the fucking time and try to gaslight and fucking make it seem like what you guys are saying is not actual facts when we can see it playing out right in front of us. You know what I mean? Speaking to that whole Olympics thing, I was sitting there and I was watching all of that shit take place. All of the fucking hate and vitriol against Black Americans from the Jamaican side, from all the blogs, even my cousins, even my mom on that shit. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you sending me? So it was with the Noah Lyles when he won by that hair on that photo finish. The whole fucking Jamaican community, everybody was up in arms about that. Oh, he cheated, this, that. The other person won. I think that other guy, he got his foot over the line first, but Lyles got his upper body over the line, and they were all debating on what the rules are and this and that, and oh, because they're American, they're gonna win, and all of that. And I was just like, they're fucking losing their shit. And then they got so happy when Sha'Carri lost because of the delay with her trying to get through the gate and them forcing her around and everything. And for that same reason, Shelly Ann Fraser Price didn't even run in the race. She was like, yeah, no, fuck this. I didn't get my chance to do my full warm up. She didn't run. And then Sha'Carri still came second with like a barely adequate warm up. And they were all fucking jumping on Julian Alfred. Oh, yeah. I heard exactly what you're talking about. Oh, she trained in Jamaica. She went to high school, but she also went to Texas for college or university. She was training there. You know what I mean? For the last 4 years. So how are we going to take credit for something? And then again, you're saying the right thing. She's from St. Lucia, and the St. Lucians were pissed. Like, why the fuck are you guys trying to take credit for our one gold medal? That was the first time St. Lucia ever won a gold medal. But yeah, they were out there trashing people, trashing you guys, and then but oh man, the crocodile tears, they were fucking so salty, man. They were so salty because they only won one gold medal in track, but they won a couple medals in field. So that was the coping mechanism that they had to put up. Like, okay, we didn't win anything in track, but at least we got some field, I think shot put or something like that. They won. And yeah, they were salty as fucking hell. And they were even mad about that Janelle Broomfield girl because she's dating Noah Lyles, right? She's Jamaican. They were hating on her, calling her a traitor and all this shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys, man? Like, you guys are sick in the head. I'll tell you, even one conversation I had with my cousin and my mom, I was like, where does this come from? Where do you guys? Because like I told you, I never heard my mom growing up say anything like disparaging to me about Black Americans. We don't grow up around Black Americans anyway, so there was nothing like we had any close proximity. But I grew up listening to the music and stuff like that. So and but anyway, she never spoke anything like that. But then the Olympics comes around, and they're cheering this, and she's sharing these stuff, and I'm like, where did this come from? She's like, oh, it's just Olympics. I'm like, this in the Olympics time. All right, cool. She didn't really go on too much about it. But when I questioned my cousin, she was just saying the same kind of shit. But I'm like, don't you see that you guys are being divisive here? Like, how come you guys have so much hate for American Black people too by that? But you're jumping on this
Did
whole.
they say why?
No, they fucking beat around the bush, danced around it. I'd have to go dig up my Instagram DMs message to find out to regurgitate exactly what it was, but it wasn't any fucking kind of real answer she gave me. She just tried to send me some video explaining track and field history with Jamaica and how there's always been a Oh, my bad. She said it was a competitiveness. There's always been this uh, not animosity, but almost like this rivalry between Jamaica and America since like the 80s, apparently. I'm like, bitch, I ain't speaking to none of that shit. I'm talking directly about the fucking shit you guys are talking that has nothing to do with, oh yeah, at least they won. All right, give them the props. You guys are talking some vitriolic hate that, you know what I mean? You're not reserving for anybody else. So I can't even debate or dispute any of it. And yeah, that's it, and it's all documented on social media. So when they come up here and act like gaslight, like, oh, nobody says these things, or oh, these things, oh, you only have one anecdotal instance where somebody said that, like, it's not widespread. It's like, shit, man, I could point to you a million fucking comments and blogs and people talking this exact same shit. You go over to the shade room, the fucking comment section is filled with it, you know what I mean? So yeah, 100%. You guys are fucking keep doing it. Keep spreading the truth. I'm sitting here looking and listening, and growing up, I didn't know there was a difference. I Up until you guys started your delineation. I didn't think there was a difference between myself and a Black American. I still don't really see myself as different, but I am not of your lineage, and your lineage has proven that they have done some things that I cannot be say that I can claim that is I'm a part of that. You know what I mean? And kudos to you guys, man. I'm sitting here, support you guys all the time. Fucking keep doing it.
Much appreciated, my brother.
For
Thank you
sure,
for thank
Lando.
you for
You
telling the
always been a
truth.
real one, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
thank you
go
for
check
telling the truth,
my
man.
fucking my like I think I started this page like 2 years ago. But if you go check, type in the Olympics on my page, you see me going to war in the comment section with Jamaicans, with fucking everybody on there that was talking shit about Shakari and all that. Like, I love that girl, man. Like, you look at her story is symbolic to me of the whole Black American struggle, coming up, doing your thing, and then getting hated for it for one little misstep or one misdeed or whatever they want to classify it as, and try to shit on you and hold you down, but still you come back and the get back is even bigger. It's like, what? Like, what's not
But
to
I
love
got a
about that
question for
shit?
you, brother Lando. I got a
What's up?
question.
What's
Why a
up?
lot of people from that region don't know how to unite and come together so they can get things done over there? What's hindering people from the homeland to do that?
I can't speak on Africans. I don't know what the fuck Africans' problem is. They're all tribal and shit. in Jamaica.
Well, yeah, I know
You
that, but
talking
didn't you
about
say you was from
Jamaica?
Jamaica or
Yeah, I'm
something?
from
Like,
Jamaica. Yeah.
yeah, like is it like like
Why
that?
can't they?
What's the disconnect in the in 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 the land over there where you come from?
The disconnect between Jamaicans amongst Jamaicans?
In the diaspora period, because not a lot of them, keep it real like you. I know they out there, but a lot of people in the diaspora don't come as genuine as you come spitting facts and understanding what the hell going on in the world.
Well,
That's
you
all I'm
see,
saying.
well, me, I'm an individual on my own, anyways, in every regard. You know what I mean? I hold myself accountable. I believe in looking in within myself, and I hold a lot of introspection. I sit with myself all the time, and I'm always looking at myself as like how I can improve, how I can do better, and where I stand on things. So for me, it's nothing to be real with me and myself. So if I got to look at myself and say, hey, man, you're fucking up here, you're doing this, you're doing that, you need to do better, I can always do that with myself. I'm sure you guys can also look at yourselves and you guys know you guys have your faults and issues that you have to sort out and whatever, and you can do that amongst yourselves, right? But a lot of people are delusional. A lot of people, especially Jamaicans, they wanna have this outward ego. But why they can't unite on things? It's a lot of red eye. It's a lot of criminal culture that's promoted and promulgated, and a lot of jealousy. You know what I mean? My grandfather was a successful businessman before he moved to Canada, and he tells me he'll never move back there. He'll never. He's like he's not going back there to pay any extortion money. I don't say these things to be denigrating or to, shit on my people, my culture, or anything like that. But the reason why the biggest issue they have there is crime, right? If the prime minister can fix the murder and the crime rate, a lot of people, a lot of investments would come in. You guys love to go there on vacation and shit like that, but you guys pop up, have fun, see the resort, enjoy yourself, and you peace out. These guys out there are fucking robbing and murdering and killing each other. It's a epidemic out there. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot
Can
of
I ask you a
returning
question?
residents. A lot of returning residents get robbed as soon as they show up. Like there's talks that you can't even tell people that you're coming for a visit because you never know who's gonna try to set you up. You know what I mean? And it's fucking crazy on that. So is
Hey,
there?
Lando,
Yeah,
are you, I got a question. Have you ever witnessed or hosted spaces yourself about the improvement of Jamaica?
I've never hosted any spaces. This is my second time speaking on a space. I usually just lay in the cut and I'm listening and soaking everything up and just understanding where everything is coming in and what's going on. I don't
Have
really.
you been in spaces about improving Jamaica or maybe other Caribbean or maybe African nations? Have you been in any of those spaces?
I,
They have
I,
that?
that's what I was gonna say. I
That's what I'm
haven't
trying to find out.
I haven't even. I don't really follow any many African or Pan Africanist spaces or people to begin with because it seems like they're all fucking delusional. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
Like
I
they're all
wasn't saying
talking the
Pan
baddest
African.
shit.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. I wasn't saying Pan African. I'm talking about the improvement of these countries that are there. Like in
They
your
don't have
case,
that.
yeah.
So so
They just want to go. They have a grass is greener mentality on the islands, and they just feel like they need to get to the big land. And we're the big land.
But
so
why are they
so
selling off such beautiful places? What I don't get.
well, I spoke to these things yesterday, and the guy was trying to shit on me, like as if I'm just being a suck up or some shit like that. But I have exactly the facts and the reasons why. First of all, I don't know about Twitter and Instagram. I don't know any spaces like that, but there's one page I follow on YouTube, a blogger. I spoke about it. His name is Sir P. His channel is called Politics Watch, and on there he gets into every aspect. Speaking about the culture, speaking about, and he's got a Patreon where like-minded Jamaicans are building up. He's got about 300,000, 400,000 following, where he's going against the government in certain aspects. He's spilling all the tea basically, but he's anonymous, right? So he's got a good following, and there's a good community built over there where they talk about the improvement of the culture, what we need to do, how we need to move, talking about various aspects, various
The
topics,
reason why
right?
I
So there's
asked,
that.
the reason why I asked is because I got a lot of dealings with people all over the place that are non-FBA, and even in between my conversations, I try to encourage them to move toward self enlightenment for themselves and talking about improvement, because a lot of times what happens is the people they're very defeated. I've noticed, especially with delineation, I've realized that those people aren't us because they would be like, we can't do anything, and they're blended in with us. But post delineation, I realized that a lot of these cultures are very, very, very defeated. So what I try to do is in between the conversations, partially partially because it's in our FBA genes to, want to help other people. But at this point, I'm doing it so these people can get the heck out of my freaking FBA business. Because the more
Right.
these people are taking care of their own, the less they over here being losers and trying to be in our stuff or bringing their baggage with us. So I'm trying to encourage you that when you're having these conversations with other people, also in between schooling people, also in between um talking about these issues, that you say, hey, you know what, guys? Yeah, I know you kind of trash talking the Americans with this, but let's talk about what we can do and just try to edge them over there. I know hosting spaces is not for everybody, or having YouTube channels or a platform is not for everybody, but everybody can at least try to divert the energy into something positive. Because as you being a Jamaican heritage, I think it's your personal responsibility to help improve your people, uh, because it
Facts.
won't be just enough for you to come in here and say everything wrong with Jamaicans. We all know that.
No.
It's like almost like cry me a river thing. But if you are Jamaican, you got to talk to other Jamaicans to do that. Because we don't want to keep seeing people cry for the queen when she passes away, or welcome all these other people. Come on, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, no joke.
Oh man, tell me about it. Tell me a fucking about it. You know what was really embarrassing was the Rastafarians. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, back in the '60s when they went to Buckingham Palace. There's all these stories that Peter Tosh pulled the Queen out of her when she held her hand out for him to kiss her hand or whatever. He pulled her out of her throne or whatever. I don't know how true that story is, but there's always been this like rebellious nature. Like, hey, the Rastafarians, police used to hunt them down in the streets, cut their locks, and beat them and all that kind of stuff. But when like back in the early 2000s, 2010s, the royals, the prince not Harry, but Prince William and them, bunch of them went down to Jamaica, and they were received up in their whole, their community area there where the Rastafarians live, and they were there teaching them how to beat the drums, and a whole bunch of cameras were there with them, and they're recording it, and they were just like, just basically selling out, man. So I'm just like, man, this is fucking embarrassing and pathetic. Like, what would the original people think that you guys are doing that? You know what I mean? Well, some of them still are alive, but they're just so destitute and poor that they'll do anything for a bag, you know? And that's what it all ultimately comes down to, is who has money. Jamaica is a place where, unfortunately, the wealth, there is no middle class really. You're either very poor or you're well off to very well off and very rich. And basically, you can go there and buy anything you want. You know what I'm saying? If you got money, you could basically get away with anything you want, right? You could get away with murder. You could get away with any types of crimes, financial crimes. Usain Bolt got robbed of 10 million US from some sham fucking investment company last year. He still hasn't received his money back. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of shit that's going there that if you got money, you can go there and get away with anything. So people just are about getting a dollar. Doesn't matter who they have to sell out, who they have to scam, who they have to rob. You know what I mean? And when you have that kind of a mindset, around you, it's not the majority of everybody, but the few acidic individuals that are around make it bad enough for everybody, that everybody just wants to stick to themselves and be, it's not a cohesive environment. You know what I mean? The environment doesn't breed like, let's be united together. Everybody is more individualistic, whether they're criminals or not. Everybody's about their own thing. But you made a very good point, that I should be, doing more to try to gather people up under the banner and unite them in the mindset of what is positive and moving forward. And I'll try to see what I can do to further that goal. ultimately.
Yeah, y'all got too much land down there in Jamaica and for it to be sold off and those beaches owned by the Chinese or Asians and everything like that. So if you guys start shoring up, it's going to take a very long time. Our consciousness took a while to get here. So it's going to take you guys some time. But in the meantime, people going to get the work from us. Um,
Oh, keep doing what you're
yeah,
doing, man. They gotta learn somehow. I don't know how they're gonna learn. I don't know. But like Garvey said, your guys' juxtaposition against white supremacy being the minority in your country and fighting against an enemy that is the majority, and you guys have to face down basically David and Goliath every single day. That's what made you guys who you are. Versus
yes and
they've
no.
gotten complacent and lazy. You know what I mean? Like they're the majority of the black skinned people are there that are the majority. The Indians, the Chinese, and the whites are less than 10% of the population. So they've gotten lazy and they see each other as enemies. You know what I mean? They see each other as enemies. Even me, as a returning resident, wouldn't get back much love other than what did you bring for me? Did you bring me anything? You know what I mean? Aside from that, there is not much that they want to hear or do with a returning resident. It's about what we can get from those guys. They feel so entitled that, you got to be sending us money, everything that you're making over there, or else you ain't shit. You know what I mean? You're over there in a foreign land, basically making this money and working your ass off, living in the cold. They expect you to be sending everything back to them. Well, I could understand that if I had children there and I had a family like that, but you're my cousin, my aunts, and you know, whatever, distant relatives and friends and whatever, they expect you to be sending them money that you're working for. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of mindset that you're dealing with. It's all about the dollar there, right? So it's not really, a whole lot that you could kind of get through to them on in terms of being cohesive and let's stand up against this thing. You're talking about land and resources they're selling off because it's all about the dollar and they're not thinking long term. I have a personal, my aunt on my aunt's side of the family, her uncle is the Custis of Manchester, which is one of the parishes, and the Custis is like a kind of a mayor kind of a thing, and
What is it called? A cuspis?
yeah, Custis. He was uh, up in age, advanced in age in his 90s. He died a couple of years ago, but he owned a medical plaza in Mandeville, and he owned big piece of land property in the west side of the island near Negril, and on the 7 Mile Beach. 7 Mile Beach is like the main tourist attraction in Negril, aside from Montego Bay and like Kingston, right? So 7 Mile Beach, they call it that because it's like 7 miles of white sand beach, right? They have all the major. It's like one strip. Imagine, if you will, I don't know, a Vegas strip or something like that, but it's just all resorts and restaurants and bars right along this one strip of beach. And it's on the beach, like right on the beach. They owned a lot of land that was adjacent to the beach and on the beach. And the land stayed largely undeveloped for a long time while everything else was building up around it. And they had to sell the land adjacent to the beach. You can look it up right now. They sold it to an Indian company or group, and they ended up building something called the Times Square Mall, which is like a little shopping mall. And they built that over there. And then the beachfront was undeveloped. So it was like any other public beachfront that you could see if you went there. It was like a bunch of locals just hanging out, setting up stalls and everything. Total contrast to the big $1 billion resorts and the big restaurants that were next door. So they had this like empty lot, shrubs, trees, everything just growing all around it, and it was total trash. So my aunt decided, you know what? Let me go down there and develop this land and try to see what I can do out of her own pocket, out of her own money. So she talked to her uncle, and they said, "Yeah, go ahead and do that. No contract signed, no nothing. They just had a little verbal agreement that keep it in the family and everything like that." She went there. She took out a couple 100,000 in credit cards and loans and all of that, and she got the land cleaned up, got the landscaping done. It did what she needed to do to run plumbing, electricity there to build a small little rental unit, and she built a bar on there, and then she rented a spot to a fruit stand guy who had his little stand, and then she rented out some of the beachfront area to guys that had ski doos and a guy that had a boat that would do little boat tours and stuff like that. So, and then she rented out the parking lot to an RV company. So she was trying to get it going and developing out of her own pocket. And then what happened? Her her cousin's husband um, ended up selling or convincing, which would be her cousin would be the parents, or oh, am I getting confused here? Her cousin's husband, which would be daughter and son-in-law of the people who owned the land. They He was old, right? So they convinced him, and he needed medical assistance and all that. So they convinced him to let him sell or release the property to some other, I guess, American
Um,
company, and they built some they sent some sea cans, some
can
shipping
we
containers down there.
let Agent Zero speak for a moment because we don't, he's had his hand up a while.
Oh, my bad.
Hey
Okay.
room, how y'all? Hey room, how y'all doing?
Hey,
What's going on, Professor? What's up, Nikki? What's up, Ronnie?
hey.
Um, I was told I used to work with a guy. He's a younger guy. I think he was born in America, but I know his parents is from the Congo, either Benin. And me and him were conversating. I think he may even heard me like listening to Tariq or something out loud. And I asked him. I said, "Why um do Africans feel the way they feel about us?" And he told me, basically, they hate the fact that whenever anywhere outside of America, whether if it's melanated people or not, when they think about black people, the first people they think about is black people from America.
Mm-hmm. I've heard
You
that
know.
before.
And yeah, it's just kind of weird. But I just wanted to bring that
I have a
in.
question. Why is it that when Congolese people are enslaving Congolese people and genociding Congolese people, they ask other people to help and get mad and say, "You're not helping us. You're the one who's killing yourselves. Why, like, this is an internal problem, right?
Right.
What are we gonna do? If you want to butcher each other and put 40,000 children in cobalt mines, what do you really want us to do? Stop you from doing stuff you want to do?"
I get the notion too that um they don't like the fact that we or they feel some kind of way rather about the fact that we had the balls to stand up for ourselves and none of the rest of them didn't, which is weird too. Like, how you gonna get
Yeah.
mad at me because you can't stand up for yourself?
And they want us to stop. That's the part that gets me. They come over here, "Oh, you're making too much noise. The white people are going to get you." It's called advocating, and we're going to keep on doing it no matter whether they like it or not.
I went to college with a girl from Africa. We had to ride the bus every day, and I mean I don't know how we got on the subject, but she was like uh pretty much what y'all was saying earlier. Y'all are making it, you could just keep your head down or whatever. And by the end of the semester, the conversation came up again, and she told me, she said, "I'm sorry, you're right. I see what you mean now." It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's all. I just want to step down and I land my plane.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To answer your question, it's because of the U.S. That's why the Congolese or everybody else comes and complains. That's what they'll say. It's the U.S. that did it.
Yeah, they don't never want to blame the UK or France or Belgium and the 42, 44 European countries that carved Africa up like a cake.
No, they don't want to blame themselves. Because think about it, where the all the white people at? I mean, it's virtually none there. So on the one hand, they're like, oh, there's no white people here. And on the other hand, it's our fault because we sent somebody over there like a 10. It'll be literally 22 white people in their country and they controlling all the stuff over there. So it's the US's fault somehow.
True, yeah, they don't want to hold, they don't want to have self accountability. That's true. But still, you don't never hear them say nothing about Britain. You don't never hear them have no smoke for Britain. They was the main ones crying for that witch that they call a queen that terrorized them for decades.
I'm gonna give one small credit, and I mean very small credit, to some Kenyans. They're having an awakening, and they've been having an awakening where when I asked Lando earlier if he heard anybody talking about empowerment, there's a lot of Kenyans that are doing that. That's why they had that revolt and burned down their own parliament building. Uh, I'll see if they keep up the energy because I'm like the Kenyans that I know. I said, look, I'm looking at y'all with a side eye. Everybody can do something once, but if you keep the energy up and force your government to cave in, then I will believe you. But I'll give them small credit. It came to the point where the Trump administration the last time was doing a study on masculinity in Kenya. It was like $30 million they put into it, and they called the term uh, not hyper masculine. It was a term even beyond that that they use for them because they said this element is they're too aggressive and we need to get them to get in touch with their soft side. They're non-emotive and everything because they know that a strong man will cause revolutions. They know that men typically revolt when they're strong. So they're trying to figure out we can Kenya. So I will give a little small credit to the Kenyans that have been standing up for their culture. There's a big portion of them that sell out to white zaddy. And I talk to people with that to call out their own people as much as I can because they'll tell me, "Oh, I was here and it was a restaurant with all these white people, and I see all of them over here begging these men." And I'm like, "Call them out, call them out, call your people out. Maybe not there in person because maybe it'll be awkward. Something I don't know. Give them a look because if we don't call people out, we give them a look of shame. Like really, like we do something." So you guys got to socially start exercising them because, or else they'll open up another nightclub and say, the only people allowed are white people because they do that in Kenya. That's why I said I only give them small credit because it's more like they're fighting against the corruption in the government. I was like,
Hmm.
that this is white supremacy still, but y'all gotta do it.
But but what I don't understand is that, like, it's one thing is if you're a country and then another group of people comes over and does something to you because you're a different religion or a different race. But these people are all the same group doing this. And it's like, what do you like? How could we stop that? Because as soon as we leave, you're going to do it again. If you still have that same problem with the person, it's not like you can remove this other hostile group and make them stop. It's like it's one group of people doing this to each other in some of these African countries. It's not a separate group or a religious, a religious fight. So I don't know what they're like trying to compare their issue with the Gaza Strip. Oh, you're only paying attention to them because you don't care about Africans, but you're the one doing it. Why don't you care about it? Why don't other African countries help them? See what I'm saying about the humanitarianism, which is what the room is about? They don't help each other. No African says, you know what, let's go figure out what's going on in the Congo. We don't want our fellow Africans to be hurt. They don't care. They literally don't care.
Umar Gaddafi knew was going to unite Africa under one currency. You know what they did? They allowed him to be assassinated with his own money. He was going to do it with his own money. And they allowed for him and participated in it willingly for him to be assassinated.
Yep, these other leaders that were well, politicians. These other politicians that were there, they did not back him up. I remember the Nigerian president, he was silent. He was against it. And then the surrounding nations, they were silent. Now the Ugandan president, whatever his name is, I forget now offhand, but he's trying to claim as if he wasn't around when the U.S. or Britain told the other three African nations not to show up or else. I'm like, look, you ain't about to punk me around. And the best defense is to have the other people around you strong. So if they going to attack this person to make them weak, now that makes me weak. That's the basic human, well, I would say FBA common sense. I'm almost still thinking that's humanity's common sense, but that's self preservation. If I let you go out there looking half beat up or down bad, and then there's a bunch of you around me down bad, and I'm gonna let you, which was a strong one, be down bad, then I am the only one here, and they gonna take me out eventually. But they don't be thinking like that. It's dog eat dog. I'm gonna stab you in the back, and that's the unfortunate thing. So that's why I say I do take a little bit of my time to, bring up the topics. And anybody on my WhatsApp see me railing against white supremacy all the freaking time. So I expose them people, the tethers or the people that are potentially against that. Every time I get a chance on all my platforms, including my business ones, which kind of hurts my business. Probably, I don't know. I still be getting people pay me $5,000 for consultancy for stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I rail against white supremacy on every platform I got, except for my NFT one. And so I kind of expose people out there that's going to be, against that. And you know what? To answer your question too, I think they can do this if they copy the Chinese. I think that's what they got to do. They got to copy the Chinese. The Chinese kind of they had their own Nuremberg trial or something like that 70 years ago or something. What was I forget what that is called? I'm sure some of you in the room will know what that is, where they said, man, we had to take out our own grandparents, our own mothers and fathers, because they weren't getting in line with the code that we got. So they might have to do that.
Wow. IGZ, did you want to say something?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. Because I was in here and all I heard was, radio sounds for a bit.
Oh,
I was
wow,
going,
that's weird.
yeah. I mean, that's only when you invited me up the first time. Yeah. So, what I wanted to say, first off, what's going on? Wani, Nikki, Professor, and everybody else. What's going on? What's going on? I just recently lost my cousin. Uh, she was young, 23. Sad news,
Sorry.
stuff I don't want to hear, but life moves forward, and this fight still continues. Now about these two Kenyans. I understand you say you give Kenyans a little bit of grace. I don't give none of these people any grace whatsoever because every time we say we give grace to even just a small inkling of amount, you find out they say something salacious, like really salacious. So this is two Kenyan YouTubers, and they're like, oh, we got the highest STDs and all this other shit. And I'm like, bro, y'all two bald-headed bitches, and then you want to apologize and you put some wig on with some braids. This shit don't make no sense. Like these people talk cash shit about us. I'm not, I'm not giving you that small leeway. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not. You're all our enemies, good or bad. You can say positive things or what you're trying to do, even from the fucking South Africans. I've heard salacious shit from them. In fact, they're the ones when I was on fucking Clubhouse calling me a damn bullet bag. I ain't forget that shit. I don't forget none of this salacious shit you guys been saying. You all can catch that fade, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Maybe I should rephrase that and say the credit is more like respect. You can recognize somebody as your enemy and still kind of respect them. Like I respect the Japanese in one area. In one area. They are hyper like, yeah, we ain't mixing with nobody. They said they ain't even mixing with white people like that. They said if we disappear as an ethnic group by 2100, so be it. That's where they're at right now. They ain't mixing with nobody. Now they did have a slight change with some of their senators or something like that.
Bro, they're over there. They're over there mixing with a whole bunch of Africans right now. Please,
I'm talking
please.
I was
about
just
the
about to say
national.
that they sure is the younger ones
And
anyway.
the Africans be lying and saying they Black American. that's, that's the funny thing about it.
I don't understand how people don't know our accent. Like these Africans that be playing that and some of the Haitians and stuff, they literally sound like they came straight out of their own countries. They don't sound anything like us. So I'm confused how people internationally can listen to our music, listen to our music, movies, listen to us speaking, and still be fooled. I'm like, man, your IQ. Some of y'all be claiming high IQ,
because
but y'all be low.
some of them are actors basically. Some of them get their hairlines, they get hairline surgery. And I've heard some of them get their accent just right. A lot of times, if they get their accent just right, they have to be talking for a long time. You got to have to pick up on certain syllables. But I don't want to give it away. But
There's
some
a
of them try very hard to cosplay
there's an
us. Just
African dude.
watch.
Literally, if you search this up on YouTube, he literally teaches them AAVE. He literally teaches them AAVE. Mind you, he teaches them. If he teaches them the wrong shit, they're gonna get their, get popped, and that's about it. And I'm not saying shot, but I'm just saying they're just gonna get they're gonna get the shit rocked. Um, but yeah, he literally teaches them AAVE. Like people like, "What's up?" This how you say. See how you say it? Like, "What's up? What's up, my nigga?" You get it? Like, this how you say, bro. It's so cringe. It's so cringe that he literally has a fucking YouTube channel off this shit. It's ridiculous, and they all do. They all listen. They all have YouTube channels based off us. It is ridiculous. Even from these two bald-headed Kenyan twins, bro. They look like fucking aliens, like between a predator and alien, bro, combined together. They just, they just met up in Kenya. But yeah, they all do that shit. They all got YouTube channels. Look that shit up, bro. Look it up.
Oh,
You're
I
gonna see
already
us.
know. They're not going to
Yeah.
get a YouTube channel being African or whatever they are.
I was
No,
tempted to ask you what it was because I was gonna go on their thing and have some of the people I know roast the hell out of them.
Have a field day.
bro.
Well, you did better than me. I only got to roast them after the Olympics for, I think, 2 to 3 full days of roasting after the Olympics, and then massive roasting during the whole event. They were livid. Oh my God. They just didn't even fight back anymore. It was beautiful.
You know what? You are reminding me. I may as well just go back on that channel. I haven't uploaded. Like I upload certain times of the year now. I might just instead of converting it to science like I did my Twitter page now. I think I might roast them for another month and
Oh,
roast them
wow.
through Black History Month. I think I might just do that. And they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? Where did this come from?" I'm like, y'all roast us every single day on all these apps. So you know what? I'm finna just do it.
Well, I'm actually about to start up a new YouTube channel, and I'm about to go in on every disrespectful motherfucker against our lineage. Every last one, guns blazing.
You think you better than us? Yes, I am better than you.
We
We got one.
offered we gave them a form to fill out, the, Culture Olympics form, and they just will not fill it out. We went one by one with them that one night, and it was a bunch of non-applicables on there. Non-applicables. When we got to the how many astronauts do you have, and did you assist in calculating the moon landing like our women did, or were you weaving baskets? Oh my God, it was just a disaster fest. That's where they're going wrong. They're coming at us like we're equal people, like, oh, we're gonna go toe to toe with what? You can't go toe to toe with me. You can go toe with my big toe in your face. Because you're way down there. You're not way up here. I mean, these people are like, I mean, I was at one of these places where they show you a demonstration of the basket weaving, and this white woman made a joke. At the time, it was like a racist type joke, but it was still funny. She said the last time I was here, they were weaving the same basket. And that was in the, she had been there in the 70s, and then this was in the 2000s. She said, last time I was here, they were weaving the same basket. But when I thought about it, I said, you know what? They have been weaving the same identical basket for probably 800 years because they have one that's that's old. It's the same basket. And they just sit there and weave the same design. That everybody moves so much slower than us. Even in Europe, it's like whatever they're doing, they're still doing it. 30 years later, it's like gradual changes. That's why they don't have any new music. We have like a bazillion music genres, and went on to the next one, and they're still playing belly dancer music. It's a hot mess.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't we come with like 21 genres of music?
I don't know because I don't know the what's a genre and what's a subgenre. Sometimes that kind of blurs, so I can't really tell. But yeah, a lot.
Apparently, Afro beats is a genre, and I'm like, nah, that should be a subgenre.
That's a subgenre.
That's a subgenre that we made and let them take it.
Yeah, I ain't
See,
listening
James
to Guinea
Brown
Pig.
should have never made that for those fools.
IGZ, can you post a video of the Africans teaching AAVE if you still have it?
Are you serious? That is
I don't have it.
so.
I'll find it. My homeboy Mike TV, he got that shit on his channel. I'll see if I can find it though.
I appreciate it.
You know, I thought about discrediting one of these channels because I was gonna bring it up to Tariq when I was on his broadcast, I think last week, but I just kept forgetting. Um, some of these tethers play as if they're on our side. They kind of do the white supremacist thing, like what Fox did, where they put out black uh, programming until they got their bag up, and then they started trash talking us and denigrating us and everything. Some of these tethers are now starting out where they are speaking up us. And there's this Ugandan YouTuber, and I had subscribed to her because I'm like, okay, cool. She's calling out some of this stuff, and she admitted, hey, you know what? When I was growing up, I used to think white people were like gods because they come here and they bring us a little bit of, you know, some money, and we think they just have all this money. But I realized most white people are broke. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm going month after month after month. She's doing okay and everything. And then somewhere when it got closer to the election, so I had been subscribed to her for about a year and a half. Somewhere it got close to this election, and she started switching. She's quoting Professor Black Truth. I thought it was something, but then I ignored it for a second. But then she didn't give him credit. But every goddamn time she's quoting one of these Africans on TikTok or some other person that's there, she puts their tag up every single time. Then she did it with some other FBA people where she's quoting off of their videos. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I stopped watching her for a few months. She went full blown tether cosplayer. She's the YouTuber that she's the best friend of the YouTuber. This is what made me get a real red flag. Her best friend is the one that said, I'm here to take. I'm not here to build. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to take. And I'm like, if this is your best friend, this represents you. You didn't even call it out because I went to that. She kept suggesting her channel, and that was like the third video on her channel. And so I said, okay, come back months later. She's full blown tether mode. She's saying black Americans are breaking down, crashing out off of, and she doesn't understand why we're calling people tethers and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, another one of them. Now she's got 60,000 subscribers, and she's got a lot of black Americans in the comment section making excuses for her, like, I don't understand why you're like that. I'm like, no, she's a tether. That's why she's like that. She played us. She played a lot of us a little bit better than the other ones did. But she did the same thing, just like Jennifer Lopez or a lot of these people do. So since she's a YouTuber, I didn't have a chance to necessarily do what I do to people around me, which is make sure they're on all my social media because I'm railing against tethers. I'm railing against white supremacists, especially. So that's like a thing that I can, you know, you know, um, kind of get people out and they reveal themselves. Because after a while, people are going to say something. You must really hate white people. No, I hate white supremacists. You must, why are you always complaining about white people? They're always 24/7 denigrating us. So actually, I'm talking about black empowerment in between this and then using part of my time to talk about that. How come you didn't notice all the times I was big up and the few achievements y'all got in Africa or the few things that you got there, and all the times I'm talking so good about Black Americans? How come you only notice when I say something negative about white people and it's the truth? They just genocided some people, and you think that's a problem? Me pointing it out? I couldn't do that with that YouTuber. So now I'm just gonna start going forward, make comments in their comment section, and see if they reply like they reply to everybody else. But I think I'm just gonna discredit that person because she is way too big and it's too many people following her.
Yeah, why do these people live in compounds? Every
She gonna, she gonna
time I
destroy
see
herself.
something in Africa, I'm like looking at people's videos and they're like in compounds. They're not outside amongst all the other Africans. They're just in a compound making these videos. I guess they don't want to get robbed or some shit. Oh, speaking of compounds, did you see that video of those Pan Africans who went to Africa and the fucking kids are following her like sharks, with ready to like because they know she's about to give like her parents are about to give them some money or some shit like that, and they like ran up and snatched that damn money so quick.
What? No, I saw the one where the girl started biting her own arm, like she was
Wait, what?
basically low key threatening to eat herself if the American girl didn't give her some money. I was like, this is a weird threat.
Have fun chewing on yourself.
I would be like, all right,
I'm gonna tear my
let me
ass
see.
up if you don't give me no money.
Damn, that's a wild threat.
I'm gonna tear my money up. I'm gonna tear my arm off. You don't give me. I'm gonna tear my ass up.
Dude, I pay you to tear your arm up. You gonna do it for free? All right, cool. Let me see.
Man, on phone though. Tear your shit up. Go right ahead.
Listen, I work in the medical field, bro. My last patient, I go to this man's room. This is a This is a crazy ass one-legged Puerto Rican laying there in his diaper. This man, all I hear, I look in his room, I see a mess all over the floor. I was like, I ain't dealing with that. And all I hear was like, I'm gonna burn my diaper.
What?
I was like, I was like, he just ain't gonna burn his diaper. Sure enough, give it like a few moments later. I was like, who let him in there? Who left him in there with a lighter? This man
Well,
literally
that
burnt
was
his.
an effective threat. I'll have to give it to him.
I was like, yo, I was like, this man really burnt his diaper. And then you got the Indian guy, like with his mask on, like, I'm like, bro,
Well,
it
he
ain't
kept
that.
his word. You got to give
It,
him that.
it ain't no smoke like that, bro. And you guys do way worse in fucking India. You guys eat worse than anybody in India. I don't know what the fuck that shit is y'all be making. That concoction. Mm-mm. No, no,
All
no.
those good spices ruined with dirty
Ruined,
hygiene.
ruined, literally ruined,
How
ruined. I
do they
remember.
do it? It's like a lot of vegetables, nothing wrong with that. Really good spices, nothing wrong with that. But cutting the meat with your toenail is where people are going to draw the line.
Word.
They're allowing a bunch of flies to hit that shit before
Oh,
you
Did you ever see the
having fly
video?
sandwiches.
Did you ever see the video where the dude takes a dip with the rag around him? He comes out of the water, washes underneath his arm, private parts and stuff like that, and then he goes back and start cooking with that same damn rag. I was like, what
Yeah, I
the
seen that
fuck?
shit. That shit was foul. It was the most disgusting shit I ever seen.
I was like, yo, I'm like, yo, what are y'all on, bro? What are y'all on? And people be like, oh, that's so cultured. What culture? Some nasty shit, some nasty work right here, man. some foul shit. Man, I would never. I would never, never, never. It's funny because my the chick, because I'm in New York, so the chick I'm talking to right now, she's Indian, Asian, and black. So I'm always sending her videos of crazy shit from China, from like China and fucking India and shit like that. She's like, stop sending me these motherfucking videos. We're not all like that. And so I'm glad you can admit that, some people are like that. Because that shit is just, that's some nasty ass work and shit like that. That's some nasty work right there. Mm-mm. Never, never.
Holy moly, donut shop. And they be having hella flies. They be allowing hella flies to swarm that shit, man. That shit is terrible, man.
Now, did you see the video where the dude, wife, the wife, commits adultery and shit like that? So he cuts off her head and the guy's head and walking in the street.
Yeah, I seen that. That was Cornbread Mafia posted that, I think. That shit
Yeah,
was wild, man. That shit was wild. That's why shit fucked up over there still. That's one of the main reasons why.
bro, I showed that shit to one of my homeboys at work. He went to the African lady. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "This is your country, right?" She was like, she was like, "Where?" She's like, "Where is that?" He's like, "I think this is Nigeria." He's like, "This is Nigeria," and she's like, "No, stuff like that. that 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 don't happen in Nigeria. That's not real. That's not real. I've never seen nothing like that." And he was like, How long have you been here? Do you even go back to Nigeria?" She was quiet. She was quiet.
Yeah, I bet she was talking about this AI. That's
Yeah,
AI. That don't happen in Nigeria. You
no,
know.
that's your homeland.
Yeah, that's why they don't go back. Cause folks be waiting on their asses with machetes. They own family members. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
And I ain't trying to like disparage nobody or put them down. I'm just saying what the truth is. You know, a lot of their parents can't go back home because they didn't did some foul shit home to their own family members, some real foul shit. And their own family members, brothers and shit, waiting on their ass with the machetes.
I think you're right because the way they're crying not to go home makes no sense.
I would
That's
be killed.
that's why they crying so hard not to go home because they waiting. A lot of them got they family members, blood family members, waiting on them because they didn't did some foul shit at home. Then sold them out. Then sold the land from up under their feet. Something, some foul shit.
That's some nasty work right there.
You know, that's why a lot of them come here. That's why a lot of them get a pass to come here. They be talking about asylum seekers. That's why they be asylum seekers because they didn't sold the land out to some British cat, some Elon Musk, from up
Elon
under the
Musk.
whole village feet.
Oh, Mr. Nazi salute.
Yeah.
Man, for real, have motherfuckers out here bawling, crying, snot coming out their nose. Don't send me back, please. Mr. Trump. Oh man, get your ass up out of here. Go back to the village you done sold. That's your ass, Mr. Babatunde. Next.
Yeah. Disappear. Disappear.
Oh yeah, no, he finna go get that old school African justice. They about to set some bricks on his back or some shit. They about to
Man,
whoop his ass.
yeah, some hot bricks, tie his ass down
Right.
and set some hot
They
bricks
about
on
to
his
shove a
ass.
stick up his ass. They about to have
Oh
some
shit.
zebras drag this motherfucker across the
My
Sahara.
bad, the zebras.
Shit.
He said the zebras. The zebras.
Had a zebra drag his ass and throw salt on him.
Right.
My man
Like
said
Man.
the
at weddings,
zebras.
how they be throwing rice, but they gonna be throwing salt on his ass while he going down a line on both sides, salting his
Right. That's
ass.
even about to ride his ass off to the sunset, boy.
Man, like a happy fairy tale, the worst way.
Talking about you sold everything, nigga. This is what you do to us.
How dare
Oh
you?
shit. They about to
How dare
whoop
you
his
come back?
ass when he get back home.
Man, I'm telling you, they gonna be at his ass. I guarantee it, man. A lot of them, these cats, they didn't sold for real. They didn't sold it, sold. Some did some
Oh,
foul
the
shit.
Mexican ones too.
Yeah, for real, them too.
Yeah, the Mexican ones, they really ain't trying to go back.
Well, listen,
Hell
listen.
no.
You already see what they doing in California. They on a huge manhunt in California.
Oh my God, they taking niggas from work, boy. It's whoo niggas is hey,
Really?
hey. The Home
Yeah.
Depots is
Missing
clear
the whole
now,
thing.
nigga. Ain't nobody at Home Depot no more.
Damn.
Yeah,
They
Home
they
are
Depot
like
hungry.
hella
ICE.
clear as
Maybe some
fuck. You could
Americans
park.
can get a decent wage.
Shit,
ICE is out.
boy,
ICE is out there hard in California right now.
hella hard.
I
Like I
was
live
like,
down the street from a Home Depot, and like I'm used to seeing them every day, trying to get it they twos and fuse in. That motherfucker is a
Ghost
ghost
town?
town. That's cleared out,
Ooh.
cleared the fuck out. That,
Speak on it.
that shit. I said, damn, Alejandro up out this motherfucker, huh?
Hmm. All
Hey, my
that
old man
smack
be talking like
talking.
that, Alejandro. Hey, my old man be on that shit. And he from the city. He be on the Alejandro. And that. Hey,
Hey,
Alejandro, let me holler at your ass.
hey, Roger Ward, what's up?
Hey, Wani. Hey, Professor Allen. Hey, Nikki. Peace to the room. Peace to all the speakers. Um, I just wanted to say that tomorrow I have an interview with a major airline tomorrow. I'm currently in Denver. They flew me out here so I could come interview. So I'm actually finished up my last round of studying. So I just asked that everybody send some good Majara Juju up for me, some prayers,
Of course.
and yeah, for sure. And just pray for me. Uh,
Post your cash
You
app.
got it, brother. You got it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, y'all. I've been working a long time for this. I've been in flight school for about a year and a half, and what I'm saying, work. My hard work is finally paying off. So hopefully tomorrow goes well. I'm prepared. I'm excited. I'm not nervous, anxious, or anything. But I'll be the first pilot in my family on both sides. So
We're
Congratulations.
so proud of you,
thank you. I
Roger
appreciate it.
Ward.
Congrats.
Appreciate that,
Yeah, I
y'all.
remember you coming and talking to us in another space maybe a year ago and telling us about your life. So I'm excited to see it.
Appreciate
who's
it.
talking?
Yeah, we need more black pilots.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
We
crazy, man,
need
because
more
For
FB. We need
real.
more FBA pilots. I'm just delineating
yeah,
there.
FBA.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
Yeah,
thousand
for
percent.
real.
Because it's I believe like as far as black pilots, we're probably only like 4%. I don't know the numbers for FBA pilots, but I don't see a lot of us. I'm connected with a lot of us, but just just in and out of the airports like the way that I am, I rarely ever see FBA pilots.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
see
So
him either. I don't see any black pilots unless I'm on an African airline.
You see lots of them in Houston when you
Ethiopian.
fly into yeah, when you
Okay.
fly into Houston, yeah, that's where they are, like in Houston and
Okay.
Chicago. Yeah,
Good.
but that's about it.
I guess I'm just missing them then where I am.
I was just about to say that I seen some in the city. I used to see them in the city and talk to them in the city when I used to go. When we used to catch the flights. I see a few of them here. Foundational Black Americans too. At that.
You don't see them when you fly into Milwaukee, and for some reason, they you don't see a whole lot of them when you fly into New York. You see some, but they seem like they something else.
Yeah, usually in New York, and I ain't trying to be funny, but usually in New York, there are a lot of them usually foreigners. They might have a complexion, but they usually foreigners.
And you can tell the FBA pilots by the way that they carry themselves, by the way that they walk with their pride, just the way that they hold their heads up. You can tell the difference. Baby, you can tell.
Yeah, and they got a different style too. They got a different flavor. It's how they carry themselves, and then they got a style with it. They got a flavor.
They got a swag, don't they? Yeah. It's
Yeah, they
it's
do.
nice to see them.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, like we be
it's
on
cool
that
shit.
heavy.
It's
We
cool
be on that
shit,
heavy.
and they be smooth as hell too.
1000%.
Yeah, bro, they be smooth. Like you could approach them and talk to them because I've done it before and get knowledge from them, get game from them.
I got
They
a
sure
question for
will.
you, Tyrell. Uh, did I say your name right, Tyrell?
Yeah, you said it right.
I think it was you, or I think it was another gentleman. He said that the Home Depots have been cleared out. Now, which part of LA did he see this in? I don't know if it was you or somebody else.
That was Capone.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say I think that was L.A. I want to say
Damn.
South Central L.A. probably.
Dang,
Around them
man,
areas.
that
Really?
sucks because I got one of my branches to my company is over there in LA. You know, I try to do LA, San Diego, Portland, and I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I used to go to Home Depot all the time and pick up workers. I'm like, damn. But like, it's convenient. Don't get me wrong. Like, I can't find a lot of FBAs that like wanna do
Yeah, I
like
know.
landscaping.
Because we don't think that, because number one, we don't really work like that, but
No.
we're just out of that whole thing because they just swamped everything. So we just moved on somewhere else. So yeah, you're probably not going to see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they completely tore us out of that
Yeah.
industry.
And then
The black
and then
carpenters and stuff like that, they tore us out of that industry.
I'm trying to get up to
yeah.
date in
Well,
medical field and switch to cybersecurity, but it's
I've
all a
been
bunch of
um
cheats.
I've been up in the landscaping for a long time. I don't do like construction, but I do landscaping and a few other things. And you know, it's just really hard to find brothers and sisters that are like run in that territory. Now, we know in San Diego, you know, my branch down there, I would go to the Home Depots to pick up the Haitians because I like working with my melanated people, black people. And they was the only people besides me. I'm like, dang, my whole crew now is black, but Haitians and myself, couldn't find no FBAs over there, so that was good. But I think they probably cleared the San Diego Haitians out too. Is that right?
More than likely, yeah, because they coming for them Asians too. They about to get them up in Florida. They about to get them up out of Florida. I got family down there in Florida right now. They just moved down there, been down there
Man, them
for 2
Haitians was
years.
skilled as hell. I ain't gonna lie. The Latinos was more skilled than the Americans, but then the Haitians when they came, they had all types of skills. I had one Haitian. He was like, literally, he was like an architect. His name was Johnny. He was really big, really tall. I mean, the dude could do. And I'm like, damn, where do they find these people? But now I'm like, dang, dude, I ain't even got a crew down there anymore. Oh man,
It's
I'm
going to
feeling
take
bad. But
it's going to
go
take
ahead,
about
man.
a year or two to recover Black Americans in these positions because we got to get the word out. All these illegals out, th-
Yeah,
they got to
yeah,
build up skills again and everything like that. So it's going to take about a year or two before people start coming flooding back in.
yeah. I hope so, man. I really do because we have some skilled workers down there with them Haitians. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of my people already had like citizenship, so
What the
I don't think
hell?
they got pulled out.
What the hell?
Go ahead.
Is this a pro immigration
Not
space?
really. No,
Did
not
did I
really.
miss something?
Just saying, you know what I mean. That
Okay.
my people. No, I'm not pro immigration, but I just had people that I knew. They was like we were tight, so that's different. So yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when somebody was about to crack on that. I was going to say something, and then I said, somebody else might do it. These Haitians are real.
Well,
These Haitians are real good. These Haitians are real good.
um we're about to be ending this space. Um, because to if you agree with me, Wani. Well, we be ending it soon because Tariq has a room, so it's up to Wani. I'll let her make that choice.
Yeah, we could slide over to Tariq. I usually always try to catch his broadcast because he be
Is
dropping
someone
game.
speaking?
Yeah, somebody
Hello.
was.
Is
Yeah,
the
we
professor
can all
awake?
No. So, and I'm just gonna go ahead over there.
We're just going to ditch him.
Um, uh, no, I'm not gonna ditch him. I'll head over on my other phone.
I knew this might happen. We can't close the space.
Okay.
No, I mean, I want to, but okay, I'm just going to use my other phone.
Thanks for hosting the space, guys. Good conversations,
Thank
Nikki.
you.
Thank
Thank you for visiting. Thanks for visiting, everybody.
Thank you all. I'll see you at the Greek space. I guess I ain't going to sleep tonight. Normally, I don't even be staying up.